in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy your Tuesday. I guess my Monday.
Yep.
Happy your Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah. You were a source for a lot of conversation yesterday. We were kind of come up with how the doctor's office was laid out. We assumed it's sort of like a Jiffy Lube, where after they get you out, that he goes downstairs, they put you up on the bay. At that point, they're changing all your fluids.
Uh-huh.
They ask him if she wants to change out the cabin air filter.
That's right.
They show it to her to see. This is what you're breathing
Showed
right
her
now.
my wiper blades.
Yeah. Try to upgrade her. I said he just went with the 5 quarts of the regular synthetic.
But I did hear the power wrench a lot. A lot of the noise going on. I didn't know what that was about.
Are you taking bolts off back there, Doc? What's going on? Oh, man. We came up with a great idea.
Yeah?
Okay, so here's what we decided.
Okay.
Since you and your posterior have been through a lot over the past year and a half.
Yes, which I'll update here in a minute.
Sure. We've decided as a company that we need to all get together and chip in and get you a donut pillow. But not just any donut pillow, because we've sort of expanded the idea.
Okay.
The listeners have now heard this
A
twice.
glazed donut pillow?
The listeners have now heard this twice, and they're
Well,
sick of it.
depending what time of day they listen.
So what we decided was we need it to be like not a donut, but like a jelly donut, so that it's just a full, like a cushion.
Okay.
Because we're going to have our friends at the print shop locally print your face onto the pillow so that you have the ability to sit on your own face.
Oh, okay.
And then we decided, well, we can expand the whole thing. We need okay, go with me on this.
All right.
There's a lot of lonely people out there, Mike. What we need to do is we need to take a picture of you, side profile, and we're going to make the Mike Winters waifu pillow.
Okay.
Okay?
How does this all to do with my colonoscopy?
Because it started with the donut pillow. Sometimes you get lonely at night, and sometimes you want to be Little Spoon. In this case, now you've got a Mike Winters side profile waifu pillow that it could throw its arm over you, and you can be Little Spoon for the night.
Okay.
But then it expanded even further, because now we want the whole Mornings with Mike Winters furniture line.
Oh, wow.
Imagine this.
Oh, wow.
You're sitting there you're sitting there enjoying Mornings with Mike Winters on a Tuesday. Got your cup of coffee, sitting in your Tanner easy chair so that you can sit on Tanner's lap. It'll just be Tanner, right? Full profile.
Okay.
With his arms like this so that you can sit on Tanner.
Okay.
Okay.
Is he like massage you or something?
That's an option.
I mean, can we get the arms like to move up and start grabbing your shoulders?
That would be weird, but I'm thinking more like the rubbing fingers in the back.
Oh, okay.
So it's optional. But
I've seen enough of Practical Jokers, and I remember that bit where Joe Gatto dresses up as a massage chair in the mall and has people sit on it. This sounds very eerily like this.
All right, well, I didn't see that episode, but yeah, it probably is.
He retired, by the way.
Did he really?
Joe Gatto, yeah. It's only
You didn't retire?
He did. From
joking?
Yeah, there's 3 Impractical Jokers now, and then they premiered after the NCAA deal over the weekend. I haven't watched it, I recorded it, but they got his name just went right out of his head. The comedian, what is his name? Now I can't even think of one thing he's been in. He's been in a million things. He's a comedian. He's been doing recently Sprint or T-Mobile ads where he wants to go serious as an actor now. I keep wanting to say Dave, but it's not Dave. Oh, what is his name?
I'm looking.
Oh, shoot. I'm having old guy syndrome here. I can't remember the guy's name now. And I'm trying to think of one thing that he's been in, and he's been in a million.
Eric Andre. Really? Eric Andre?
Yeah, Eric Andre was, I don't know if he's like a regular or
I don't like that.
I don't know if he's a regular or just a guest. I think he was a guest for that first
I hope he's just
episode.
a guest, because his style of humor, I like his style of humor. It is not what the Impractical Jokers are doing.
Well, the commercial I saw for the episode I taped, which aired over the weekend, they announced him as a guest host. So I don't know if this is like a trial error or what.
I'm just having a hard time processing. Yeah, I decided to retire from hanging out with my friends.
And it's something with his family, like he wants more time with his family. Yeah, quit because of his ex-wife. There you go. He wasn't allowed to have the kids if he didn't quit the show, is what I just got from Andrew, actually. So,
that is a terrible woman.
I knew it was something to do with his family.
Sorry, that's just an opinion.
But anyway, back to my my chair, the Tanner chair.
Tuesday morning,
massage chair.
You're in your Tanner massage chair with your Mike Winters waifu pillow, with your feet kicked up on your Sean Smalls ottoman. Collect the whole set.
So Tanner gets a chair, you get an ottoman, and I get a pillow.
Yeah, because I figured I would be subservient on my knees.
Okay.
It feels right.
Why can't we expand it to like the TV trays or?
Because we're out of employees. I guess the Roy TV tray.
There you go.
Yeah.
What about for the big guy?
Well, he's an artesia. He didn't count.
Oh, he didn't get it. He
didn't get furniture.
We don't get the.
That's right. You know what? He wants furniture. His own show can launch his furnishings line. I'm only funding the Roswell set.
I want the big guy duvet.
the Gene Dow duvet. The Gene Dowvet.
But
you throw it on your bed and he goes, what?
Maybe I could be a buffet table. Anyway, well, thank you guys for holding down the fort while I was gone. I do appreciate you guys filling in. Yesterday went smooth.
Maybe don't use the word filling in.
I will. I'll. You know what? I may have time later in the show. I'll give the story.
Sure.
Because I have a guest this hour. But I will say this: all is well. I am. I'm good to go. He said we got her cleaned out. I will be back in 3 years, so I don't have to go do another colonoscopy for 3 more years.
Nice window of time.
I'm happy about that.
Polyp free is the way to be.
Not to mention, that stuff gets expensive. So you meet your deductible, just saying.
Right?
Let's just say if I drop dead in the next year, I should have to pay any more money.
Oh, I agree. Well, you won't.
That's just it. I'll be fit as a fiddle, and then January 1 next year. Blah. Anyway, another story for another time there. But all's good, all's well. Thank you guys, and had a good meal. Good. It was. I was out of it a lot of yesterday. Yeah. I mean, I slept quite a bit because I felt fine. I just, after the anesthesia, you kind of, I don't know, you just feel a little lethargic.
Yeah. Well, you're not. Yeah. You're basically just. In a second, you're half asleep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm awake, but it's just I'm just tired. I just I passed out in the chair a couple times and things.
It's basically like if you had like a lot to drink the night before and you wake up and you still feel kind of drunk.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that.
You know what I did do yesterday? I watched on HBO Max. They got a television series called on Julia Childs called Julia.
Really?
And I watched the first 3 episodes of Julia yesterday. Wasn't bad. And it's basically the life of how Julie Childs kind of got the TV show on PBS.
Really?
She's already famous.
Is it?
For the cookbook.
I feel like I've heard about this.
It's called Julia.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard about it.
Well, there's 3 episodes on HBO Max, so I watched them yesterday.
I heard somebody talking about this the other day, but
they weren't bad.
It sounds all right.
Yeah, they weren't bad. I grew up knowing Julia Childs, so it was kind of interesting to see the backstory.
Yeah, we didn't pay for TV growing up, so I watched a lot of PBS. It was, Julia Childs, Frugal Gourmet. It was, a lot of Joy Painting and a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. So there you go. But it's pretty good. I recommend if you like. Yeah. Now, if you hate cooking and Julia Childs, and stick to whatever 37 versions of Suicide Squad they got on that channel.
Right.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We got Robert Sherman in the other room, just patiently waiting for us to stop talking about my butt and join us on the show.
Turns out, I wrote the wrong schedule yesterday.
Apparently.
I spent most of yesterday expecting people that did not come.
So Robert's in the other room. He's going to join us here in a few minutes, give us an update what's happening over at the Walker Aviation Museum. And next hour, we'll talk some neighborhood watch with the Roswell Police Department. And they've got a new director of the neighborhood watch. I'm not sure how new she is, but relatively new. She's not new to RPD, but I think new to the position. But anyway, we'll chit-chat with her. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll have time to chit-chat. And I may replay an interview. I haven't decided yet, but we don't have a guest scheduled. Cool. So maybe we'll talk about what I've done the last 3 days here. So
Butt stuff?
Yeah, that. It is 7:15. Let's get you up to date on the weather. Spoiler alert, going to be hot today, and I think windy.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit gusty today as low pressure moves across northern New Mexico. We'll be very warm with our afternoon high close to 90. That wind gusting to near 40 miles an hour. Blowing dust will be possible, otherwise we'll have sunshine. Clear and upper 40s and breezy for the overnight hours. Sunny and cooler on Wednesday with a cold front dropping in. We'll stay in the mid-70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 22%. Winds currently out of the west at 10 miles per hour. We do have a red flag warning today. That's going to kick in at 11 o'clock this morning, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. Why, you ask? Because we're going to see some areas of blowing dust this afternoon. Good news is sunny, highs near 90, but the part that gives us the red flag, breezy, west winds 10 to 15 this morning, increasing 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour later today. Tonight, we're looking at clear skies, breezy, west winds, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. And then after midnight, those winds will drop down 15 to 20. Wednesday, we're looking at sunny skies, 76 for a high tomorrow with north winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny and 70 with winds out of the north 5 to 10, so a little cooler for the next couple days after today. And then Friday, sunny and 73, and then we go right back up to near 90 again on Saturday. So welcome to New Mexico, folks, because you got 90 and windy today. Then we're going to drop down in the mid-70s, and then 70 till like Friday. And then Saturday, we're going to be 89 and sunny. So pushing 90 again. And then Sunday, once again, sunny, highs near 90 with breezy winds there. So a little roller coastery, but still, you know, a spring roller coaster as opposed to a winter roller coaster. All right, it is 7:18. Let's get you into your Roswell Livestock Report recap with Smiley Wooten. And then we'll take a quick commercial break. And then on the other side of the break, we'll have Robert Sherman join us from Walker Aviation Museum. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 904 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady to lower market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold steady, feeder cattle steady to 2 lower, packer cows and bulls $4 to $6 lower, 3 to 4 pound steers $202, $219, 3 to 400 pound heifers $177, $179, 4 to 500 pound steers $181, $202, 4 to 500 pound heifers $161, $177, 5 to 600 pound steers $175, $50, $181, 5 to 600 pound heifers $143, $50, $161, 6 700 pound steers $149, $175, $50, 6 700 pound heifers $139, $143, $50, 7 800 pound steers $145, $50, $149, 7 800 pound heifers $133, $139, packer cows $79 to $89, canner and cutter cows $65 to $75, packer bulls $98 to $101.50, feeder bulls $70 to $80. Top half the cow-calf pairs not well tested this week, and the top half the bred cows $950 to $1,250 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
At LeGrand Funeral Chapel, we believe that every funeral should be a reflection of the life it honors. The joys, the triumphs, the faith, the family, and so much more. For us, no detail is too small, no request too big. This is Rosa Aguilar. When the time comes to choose a funeral home, we hope you'll let us serve your family. At LeGrand Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Roswell Medical Clinic is pleased to welcome Tanya Montoya as the newest member of the family. Tanya's expertise includes functional medicine, wellness, and women's health. Tanya seeks to truly partner with her patients to provide cutting-edge ideas to not only treat chronic diseases, but reverse them. Roswell Medical Clinic is committed to listening and helping each patient become the best version of themselves. Call Roswell Medical Clinic at 575-623-3311 or stop by 111 West Hobb Street. Roswell Medical Clinic, providers that listen.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. Morning, Robert.
Hey, Mike.
How you doing today?
Good. After that basketball game last night, I was kind of rooting for Kansas, and I had a friend call me. He said, well, are you getting ready to cut your wrist at halftime? And I said, well, I don't know. Maybe they'll drink some Red Bull and come back and whatever.
Yeah, that was a good. I'm not a basketball guy, but I saw the results online last night and this morning, and I was like, wow.
I have a sister that lives in North Carolina.
Okay.
And then they said, well, are you going to be voting for who? I said, well, put it this way. I got two cousins that live in Kansas. I was born in Kansas. My mother lived in Kansas, and my sister lives in North Carolina. So it's 4-1. Do the math.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Kansas.
You're going to tick off more people by rooting for North Carolina than you would for Kansas. Pound for pound. So smart move there. So, of course, for folks that don't know, Robert joins us once a month, and we just remind folks about the Walker Aviation Museum. For folks that aren't familiar, it's located inside the air terminal at the Roswell Air Center. It is a museum that is devoted to what that area was prior to it being the Roswell Air Center and Eastern New Mexico University. That was Roswell Army Airfield initially, then, of course, Walker Air Force Base. And it served during the roles of World War II and the Cold War here. And so the museum is devoted to the history of that Air Force Base and to the Cold War mission that this area served in. When we talk about the big ballistic missiles and things like that, that's where Walker Aviation Museum covers. So
yeah, and we're now open. Before we were closed most of the time. And
COVID put a damper on everything for a couple of years.
And you don't have any money right now, and it's also we're just open for 2 hours prior to the midday departure, and you can check those out by doing the AA.com and put in ROW.
Go to their flight schedule.
Dallas Fort Worth, yeah. So, for example, yesterday, departure, I think it was like 1:30 in the afternoon. But now today it's 12:30 and tomorrow's 12:30.
Okay.
But so about 2 hours prior to that midday, we go out there and open it up. I do, or Bob Donnell.
Okay.
Right now.
Do you guys are offering like say a youth group or an organization?
Yeah.
They call up and say, hey, can we do a special tour or something? You guys can make those arrangements for them and do
Absolutely,
all
and
that.
I've got some details on that we can talk about here in a little bit.
Very good.
Yeah.
So if the hours of operation doesn't really suit the needs of what you or your organization's trying to do,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
reach out to the museum and they can set up something
That's
special.
that's
for
totally
you.
separate because we open it up for people waiting for the planes, getting off the plane.
You're trying to just catch some people while they're waiting around anyway and say, hey, come learn some stuff and check out some pretty cool things.
And I go out there, and so does Bob, and almost every time I go out there and spend my couple hours or 2.5 hours, it's a positive experience because you get people come in that are, cool, had some good experience, good history, and talk about things, and it's kind of one of those situations where, I'm kind of retired, semi. Well, yeah. So it gets me.
You're retired means you don't get a day-to-day paycheck. Now you just work for other people.
That's right.
I get it.
So anyway, I go out there and it's really been a positive experience. A lot of people coming in, and we get sometimes we get maybe 4 or 5 people coming in and over those 2 hours, and sometimes we get 12, 15 people coming in.
So just no rhyme or reason, just happens to catch the whim of the people that particular day. So.
Just one of those situations. And so we're looking forward to, we get with the school kids or youth, we're looking at maybe 14 to 18-year-olds, get them out. And we have some people coming out from the Optimist Club.
Oh, good.
Coming up later in this month, but hopefully we can get some school kids scheduled. And that's a separate thing. We'll do it almost any time. We need to get some volunteers out there to help with the flight simulators and the running the computer so we can give them some information. On that particular subject, we have a couple flight simulators that we got through XL Energy Foundation, and they're really nice. And
I think you guys are catching, because I know, I think after the last time we talked a little bit about this, I got 1 or 2 calls of people saying, hey, I heard you talking about the simulator thing. Who do I need to get a hold of? And I gave them y'all's information. So hopefully they reached out to you.
Yeah.
So, because that's a great thing with the flight simulators, because that's cool that, we're hoping to get these youth and exposed and maybe get them into leaning towards STEM related career fields. But in actuality, if you're just wanting to be a pilot and learning this stuff, this is valuable to get in there, and you don't have to be some kid or anybody just wants to learn to fly. Get in there and get some simulator time, and like you said, you take go through the training with Robert and Bob and these guys, and next thing you know, you're getting hours towards your pilot's license by training on the simulator. Once you get checked out and everything, you kind of check it out like a library card and get to use it. And when there's not anything going on with it, but it's a great opportunity for folks to broaden their own horizons here. Basically, with little to no cost. That's pretty cool.
Right. And it's a good simulator. We have it set up right now with a Cessna 172.
Okay.
And they do a taxi, which is actually pretty difficult. But you have to learn to, use your rudder pedals to steer and use the throttle. Anyway, then we do a takeoff, and then we do probably just a flight. But various things you can do. I had someone there. And actually, I tell you, it was my nephew. He's, 40 years old, 45. But anyway, he got on the simulator, and we selected flying over New York.
Okay.
He's from Manhattan himself.
Okay. So he's looking for landmarks.
So he was flying along. He said, yeah, that's really... He said, oh, wait a minute, that building is over there. He kind of like... He found a few things.
Critique
the right.
Topography a little
bit.
But
it's a good system. It's the once you get through that, you can select other things, which we don't do. But you can select 50 different aircraft.
Oh, wow.
And land at any airport in the world.
Wow.
So you can pick an F-22 Raptor and land at Istanbul, Turkey at 9 o'clock at night.
There you go, if your heart desires.
Whatever, yeah.
Can you land it at the Ruidoso Airport?
No, I don't think so. Oh, maybe so. I haven't checked that out.
I wonder if that runway's big enough to handle a fighter jet or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea. I hear it's a tricky airport to fly in and out of because the way the mountains are set up there,
and you're also dealing with altitude.
Yeah, exactly. It's that one's a little bit for more experienced pilots than some other airfields, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, today, I want to relate one of my favorite memories of being in the military, kind of a little story, and then also want to give a quick update, kind of Brigadier General Walker, which the Walker Air Force Base was named after.
Yes.
And pick up a few things that a lot of times are left off. You just hear about him leading a bombing mission in New Guinea and disappearing, and he's actually still missing in action. But, he was...
There's more to him
He's
than that
from
story.
New Mexico and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll give you a little more detail of some of the other really cool things he did before he went and got, shot down and stuff.
So we'll definitely talk. Never mind. I'll wait till we get to talking about him.
What's that?
I was curious what part of New Mexico he's from.
Okay, he is. Well, I'm going to do it right now.
All right, let's do it right now.
Okay, Brigadier General Kenneth Walker was born in July 7th, 1898 in Cerrillos, Cerrillos, New Mexico. I think it's up around Santa Fe area.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't heard that one. Cerrillos. I've heard that on the news before. Cerrillos,
New Mexico, and became a flying cadet in World War I. As a second lieutenant, his first station was Mather Field, California. He also served at Brooks and Barron Fields, Texas, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, and Post Field, Oklahoma.
But a lot of people of his era spent time in Brooks, Texas.
Yeah. He was commanding officer of air intelligence in the Philippines in 1922, and he returned to the U.S. in 1925 and graduated from the Air Corps Tactical School at Langley, Virginia, and participated in the Air Corps Tactical School's development of the doctrine called Industrial Web Theory, which called for precision attacks against carefully selected critical industrial targets in case of war.
Okay.
Shortly before the United States entered World War II, Walker was one of 4 officers assigned to the Air War Plans Division, which was tasked with developing a production requirements plan for the war in the air. And together, these 4 officers devised the AWPD-1 plan. That was a blueprint for the imminent air war against Germany that called for the creation of an enormous air force to win the war through strategic bombardment.
Oh, okay.
So that was probably one of the biggest things he did.
Okay.
After a tour in Hawaii and one at the Army Air Corps headquarters, he was transferred to New Guinea in 1942 as a brigadier general. The general died while leading a daylight bombing attack against shipping in the harbor of Rabaul, New Britain. General MacArthur had told him to stay at home, don't risk getting on the airplane, but he was not that type. He was sitting back behind the pilots in the lead aircraft saying, follow me type thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's, what he did was not common for a one-star general to be in that position.
Yeah.
They usually keep them in the rear with the
General MacArthur wanted him to stay at home. And so anyway.
He's like, no, I lead from the front.
So his aircraft was disabled and forced down an overwhelming number of enemy fighters. And during his military career, he earned the following awards. He got the Purple Heart, Legion of Merit, Silver Star, Distinguished Service Cross, and after his death, he was given the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Wow.
So then that's the general that Walker was named.
And then they named the Air Force Base after him.
Yeah, because he's from New Mexico.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
Why can't I wish his base would, I was just sitting because we got Holloman, we got Cannon. I'm like, I don't know. Walker seems like a much more prestigious name. We should have kept that one around.
Yeah, right. I think so too. Considering the size of the runway and the stuff, I think it was probably a little political stuff going on when they closed it.
Yeah.
Well, how they selected which bases to close.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, and
this was during the Vietnam War, 1967, and
it was harder for them to save bases back then.
And they were trying to cut back.
Yeah, it wasn't a very popular thing to have military base around and all that stuff. So different time.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's pretty cool, the interest in the story about him and realizing that he was as much a strategist as he was an executor of the strategy.
Absolutely.
He was very much a part of the planning, and I'm willing to bet that even at the war colleges today, when they're in there teaching some of this stuff at the Air Force Academy or West Point or whatever they're teaching these tactics at, I imagine some of what he thought of and what he designed and what he contributed to, they're still teaching in those classrooms today, I bet,
Yes, right.
That's pretty cool to think about sometimes, So think about that next time you're down at the air terminal and you see the Walker Air Force Base Museum there, and you're like, man, I should go check that out and say, you know what, there's some really cool history here with Roswell and World War II and the Cold War and General Walker and just even the POWMI stuff. We have a lot of great history in this community, and I think most of us sleep on it a little bit. And I think you should get out there and explore your own community.
That's
check
true.
these things out. So anyway.
Absolutely. You know, we want, before we forget, I just keep, we're going to be going out and maybe trying to get some financial support from different companies around town. And then we're going to, if they're, maybe be the person that supports us for that particular month, we're going to have a nice big sign up in front. And I'll mention it like on this today.
Yeah.
But in the years past, just recently, we, of course, had XL Energy help us out, Roswell Toyota, Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development, and some other individuals, some doctors, some folks around town, and Glenn's Furniture's given us some furniture. And Aircell has been a big supporter in the past. So
good deal.
Anyway.
Yeah, these are some great organizations, and a lot of those names you just mentioned help a lot of different organizations in our community, and we see that, and we do appreciate those supporters that do that. And by the way, always could use more. If there's somebody, business, organization, individual that's looking, saying, man, I love what the museum's doing. I love what they represent. I would like to do more to help foster what they do. And for those that don't know, there's really two mission statements that are part of what the Walker Air Force Base Museum is all about. And really it's preserving that history of World War II and the Cold War, but the other is inspiring our next generation to go towards STEM and pursue careers in aviation or STEM or engineering, that kind of stuff.
You know what? If I keep coming, you're going to get really good at this. Our mission statement is to educate and inspire all generations concerning the history and legacy of Walker Air Force Base and encourage our youth to explore careers in science, technology, engineering, and math.
There you go.
There you go.
I dragged it out to a couple paragraphs. He nailed it in a sentence there. But it's exactly what it is. So if you believe in, hey, I'd love to show my, when we talk about building our community better and things like it, and you wanting to get involved, these are the kind of things I'm talking about. This is the kind of stuff that makes our community better. Investing your time, investing your money, investing your efforts into great local organizations like this one that are providing enrichment, education, aid, and perhaps even a path for their future, all through a simple trip to the museum, and I love that kind of stuff. So if you'd love to support it, please reach out to the Walker Aviation Museum. Go out to their website. WAFBmuseum.org is the webpage. You can go and kind of read more about the website. You can make donations if you'd like. If you'd like to,
we actually have an email now.
You got an email there too?
It's Walker A Museum. Instead of saying Walker Aviation Museum, we just say Walker A Museum at gmail.com.
There you go.
And
think of
also,
it in a sentence form. You can say Walker's A Museum.
And like the sign I have on the outside of the door, I've asked if you are a teacher or a person, or you want to get a group of students and come visit us, you can text me. Don't call me because I probably won't answer. But text me at the local area code 575. But text me at 420-3 and then 789.
Okay.
420-3-789.
Very good.
And text me and say, hey, I got a bunch of students here. They're 9th graders, 10th graders, 11th graders, whatever. And we'd like to come out and. But we could use best 8 to 12 at a time.
Okay, that's
and we need them
good.
for about 2 hours.
Okay.
And what you could try to do, like they've done in the past, is come out for us for 2 hours, and then maybe go over to the university and see some medical stuff, or maybe one of the
set up a program with them, or for
maybe
nursing,
we could arrange to go to the fire department or whatever.
Yeah,
they could go around and look at that.
Or maybe something they can set up for something else in the flight line area or whatever. Depending, obviously. Safety and security would be priority one there on those, as it is always out at the flight line or out on the airport there.
Current board members are myself, Katie Yates is a treasurer, Sandy Correa, she's going to kill me for mispronouncing her name, secretary, Bob Donnell, Juliana Halverson, Judy Armstrong, Jerry Kloffer, Friar Jarek Norwacki from Poland, but he's the chaplain out at NIMI.
Oh, okay.
Now, besides at the church, Catholic Church.
So he's got multiple religious gigs in town.
Stephen Miller.
Cool. So I imagine, are you looking for a couple
We're looking for more bodies, yes.
I know you're always looking for volunteers, from docents to volunteers just helping wherever, fill a hole or help. If you love archiving, preserving, I'm sure you've got a bunch of work there that could help, people could help you with. And obviously, if you want to serve on the board or serve in some of those other capacities, always looking for more people to do that.
Absolutely.
So, and really, if you, I think you'll dig it if you're one of those folks that grew up loving military stuff or loving aviation, or maybe you're just you love history, you love curating in museums and artifacts and things like that. Whatever your in tastes and enjoyments of things, I bet you'll find that you'll find something that fills that need by coming out, volunteering, and working with the Walker Aviation Museum folks. So.
Right. As far as we've been coordinating, we're trying to get the students out. Was Roswell Independent School District. Ruben Bolaños is the STEM coordinator. Sidney Gutierrez, Charter School, Gateway School, All Saints Catholic, Assurance Home, Civil Air Patrol, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Youth Challenge. That's a really good group we could get out to our museum, and Flight Simulator and STEM stuff. Oh, well, let me mention right quick. They come out and they see some history. We, give them a quick little, about 10 minutes of history of Walker, the students, when they come out to our museum for their little briefing on the flight simulators and stuff. And then we give them about a 10-minute video showing how the flight simulator works. That's about 10 minutes out of a 25-minute one, so we just shorten that up. And then the students, come out in groups of 8 to 12, so we break them into groups of 4 or 6. And then they half go to the flight simulator and start doing that, taxi and aircraft takeoff in a scenario. And the other half sit down in front of a large computer screen, and we show them how to, again, no regrets on how to choose a college career or how to, what to major of in the future on developing a Venn diagram. Then we show them videos that run anywhere from 2 minutes to 6 minutes long, and these include science, technology, and math, STEM overview, careers in aviation, Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Aviation Maintenance Technician Program. That's a video we have from Eastern New Mexico University. And a day in the life of a wind turbine engineer. Crumlin Auto Group, Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Auto Mechanic Program. Engineer, Energy Careers and Career Cluster Industry Video Series. Oil Well Workers Career Video. What does a registered nurse do? Architectural engineering versus architecture. What's the difference? And now we're showing 5 very 1 minute, 47 seconds short recruiting videos from the Air Force, U.S. Air Force Technical Training Overview, Aerospace Ground Equipment, U.S. Air Force Air Traffic Control, and U.S. Air Force Electronic Principles. And the final one is U.S. Air Force Geospatial Intelligence.
Oh, wow. So you can
and those are really cool videos. And I've also contacted the Marines locally and the Army, and they're going to get me some other stuff that we could add in there. But
very cool. But lots of very cool stuff that hopefully kids or any,
right out of high school, they're going to either go to work directly or go in the military.
Yeah.
Or
maybe, get some of these younger kids and they see some of these videos and that kind of puts.
Yeah, and they get all this military training that they can use in the future. Plus, they get, financial help to go back to college once they get out of that. So.
Yeah, it sounds like a great thing. So, again, this is just stuff available. We talk about the museum, but it really is so much more than that. It's really providing youth opportunities for planning their future. To it goes from there to celebrating what's taken place here in Roswell and some of the history and all. It's a really cool thing, and I would love to get more people to come out, see it, get involved with it, make it. I would love to a point where. Some days, that thing's as big as the UFO museum, and we get maybe, if it ever comes downtown or whatever happens, the future of it, but it draws people like the UFO museum does. That would be a great thing, because I think the history is uniquely as cool. No, we don't have little green men or little gray men, but we got a lot of cool history and a lot of cool military stuff there. It's pretty. I love it. So come out, check it out, get involved, and everything else.
Do we have time to give a story?
Yeah.
How much time do we got?
We got about 10 minutes or so.
Oh, okay, cool.
Real quick, though, before you do your story, I do want to plug something else. Just We're talking Air Force real quick. Mark this date on your calendar, May 7th. May 7th and 8th. Holloman Air Force Base is having their annual air show. It's every year. This year they're having the U.S. Thunderbirds come out and perform. They are the United States Air Force's aerial stunt. Like if you've heard of the Blue Angels, that's the Navy's version. Air Force version is the Thunderbirds. They're going to be at Holloman Air Force Base May 7th and 8th. If you love aircraft, if you love military, come on out. They'll go out there. They'll have air demonstrations of everything from probably A-10s to F-22s, and of course the Thunderbirds will be the big draw there. But if you love aircraft, if you love seeing that kind of stuff, and you want to get...
Are they flying them both days, 7th and 8th?
Both days. They're flying. Thunderbirds are flying both days according to the Holloman page there, that they're doing it all.
Cool.
So I just wanted to... I want to mention that before we got
got
off on topic on that. So
okay, what I have now is I'd ask Mike if I could. This is just a military story. You know, I was in the military 30 years, and this is one of my favorite memories. And you know, you as an audience out there might think, nah, but I thought it was kind of cool.
Lay it on me. I'm sure it's a good one.
In 1983, while I was in England at RF Alconbury, to be specific, I was managing a great bunch of Air Force flight support technicians, and we were supporting the TR-1A, which was another name for the U-2 spy plane.
Okay.
My airmen were supporting the daily launch and recovery of these aircraft, maintaining the full pressure suits and the other life support equipment that went with the aircraft. One of the airmen I had working in the organization was Eric Mays, and I had known and worked with him. We both worked at Beale Air Force Base, California, supporting the U-2 and the SR-71 reconnaissance aircraft.
Okay.
Eric was about 6'6" and about 235 pounds, and I don't think he had more than 2 ounces of fat.
Well, those people,
Big,
did he eat like a horse?
Yeah.
Oh, it draws me nuts.
And he was known by everyone at Beale and now at RF Alconbury as Big E. So Big E. So Big E, if you're out there, I'm talking about you. But anyway, while at Beale, about 1/3 of the airmen were always deployed worldwide, supporting the U-2s and SR-71s, which were spread around the world. And we transported the pilots and the SR-71's reconnaissance systems officers, pressure suits, helmets, and other equipment in large boxes that weighed about 100, 105, 110 pounds. And they were transported on KC-135 aircraft that they deployed on. Okay. And when carrying the pressure suits out, it usually took 2 guys. However, Big E was known for picking the box up, and he kind of held it over his head and would walk out to the aircraft and deliver the box. So that's how he kind of got his name, Big E. Here goes Big E carrying a big old box up. So Eric May was a great worker, a great airman, and in late March 1983, there at Alconbury, he was selected as Airman of the Quarter at Alconbury. One day in early April, just a month or so after that, I was in my office, and Big E came in, reported very formally, standing at attention and saluting. He asked permission to speak to me, which I said, "Of course, Eric, what's going on?" And he laid down the Airman of the Quarter certificate and said that he was returning this because he did not deserve the honor after what he had done last night. So as his boss, I was saying, oh boy, here we go.
Do I want to know this?
Yeah.
Just take your word, be quiet.
Somewhat shocked, I said, "What did you do, Eric?" He said he ripped the door and the door frame off of his dorm room and therefore did not deserve this award. So I had him explain how that happened. He said his girlfriend called him up, basically dumped him from the phone in the hallway at this time. So after he got off the phone call, he was really upset. And he went back to his room and he went to open the door, and the door was locked. So he just jerked on the door handle and it ripped it right out of the wall, including the frame and everything.
He's a pretty strong dude.
Strong dude, yeah. Either that or the doors put in pretty quick.
Right, that government project.
So he indicated that he really was sorry and that he did not deserve Airman of the Quarter award for his actions. And I thought for a few seconds. Then I stated, quote, "Eric, we're in the height of the Cold War here in Europe, trying to prepare a new weapon system to be used against the Russians. I personally need about 25 more guys exactly like you that are ready and willing to kick some serious butt.
Yeah.
So get out there and ask the personnel repairing your door how you can help. And by the way, take your Airman of the Quarter certificate that you earned and get out of my office. You're still number one in my book. Now get back to work. Gosh, I wish I had a whole bunch of Big E's around, you know.
Oh, man, yeah. Well, he probably wears his heart on a sleeve, doesn't he? Sounds like he's one of those guys that kind of does that, you know. And he'll go through a wall for you. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's great. I'm just curious. We've run short on time. SR-71. What's the crew on that? Like, how many's in a? Is it just the
pilot and the reconnaissance systems officer in the back?
Okay, I didn't know.
He had no flight controls in the back.
Okay,
just the front. This guy in the front was flying the aircraft, and he was.
Well, I knew there wasn't like a bombardier crew and all that because there's not that. It's just the two seats, right? I mean, it's not like
the trainer version has a stacked where it's a windscreen and another windscreen above it.
Okay,
so both could be pilots.
Okay,
but the regular one had just a little window.
Okay,
that he could look out of and wouldn't get too claustrophobic back there.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
it's not because I mean it's a big aircraft. You know, it's as big as bombers in some cases, but it doesn't have all the innards that a bomber does. I guess I was just curious about that. So, anything else, real quick? But we're running short on time. Is there anything else we want to mention?
Steve Griffin brought out a whole bunch of professional weather equipment. He was a weather guy in the U.S. Navy for many years, so we're getting that. It's been put up. Now we're getting signs to kind of describe what it is. So, but anyway, we're out there, open 2 hours before the midday takeoff. Check it out by going to AA.com and see what the takeoff times are, and come on out and visit us. And also, please give me a call at give me a text. At 420-3789, or contact us at the museum or whatever to get their students out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Walker Aviation Museum has a Facebook page you can like and follow and shoot messages you have questions about or anything. And of course, the website, www.wafbmuseum.org. Go there. You can, by the way, you also find the Amazon Smiles link there if you shop Amazon a lot.
Right.
Another way you can help out the museum is by going through that Amazon Smile portal for the museum. That way, every time you make a purchase at Amazon, a few pennies get donated back to the Walker Aviation Museum.
Right.
Doesn't cost you any extra out of your budget, out of your what you're buying or anything like that.
Yeah, we got a couple touch screens. Now you walk in to get a 2-minute history of the Atlas missile, 2-minute history of Walker. Those are running. We're running different airplane histories on our computer during the day when we're open. So we got a lot of activity, electronic stuff going. So
yeah, so come on out.
Come on out.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it as always, and we'll see you next time. Okay?
Next time.
All right, it is 7:52. Time for news and a quick break. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Artesia General Hospital recently retained its recognition for patient experience. AGH was recognized as one of just 4 hospitals in the state with a 5-star rating in the Hospital Consumer Assessment. The survey measures different aspects of patient experience of care to make it easier to compare hospitals. Joe P. Salgado, the CEO of AGH, said the recommendation affirms the impact of the hospital's mission to provide health care that is both high quality and patient-focused. A Hagerman man who was recently sentenced for charges of sexual assault of a child earned another sentence following a conviction that he possessed child pornography. A statement from the DA's office says 34-year-old Mark Heitz was convicted at trial in late February. The 12-year prison term he received late last week was the maximum under state law. That prison term will run consecutively to a 16-year sentence Heitz earned for the November 2020 conviction for criminal sexual contact with a child under the age of 13. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Last week, Elon Musk said that Twitter fails to adhere to free speech principles and that it fundamentally undermines democracy. This week, Musk bought 73.5 million shares of Twitter, a 9% stake. He's now Twitter's largest single shareholder. So what now? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. If you're going to advocate free speech, it's vital to understand that America's constitutional free speech guarantees are limited. The First Amendment prohibits only the government from restricting speech. Newspapers, social media, blogs, radio, and television networks can publish, say, or kick guests off their platforms at any time for any reason. And that includes Twitter. Of course, Twitter has a long history of chastising and sometimes closing the accounts of politically conservative members. But the point is, it can legally do this. So let's see if Musk will step in and fix it with his $3 billion. What does U.S. News, PC Magazine, and Popular Science have in common? They all rank Simply Safe Home Security as the best home security of 2021. And U.S. News just named Simply Safe the best home security of 2022 as well. Simply Safe protects your whole home around the clock. Every door, window, and room, all backed by the best 24/7 professional monitoring in the business. With a comprehensive set of sensors and cameras, including the all-new wireless outdoor security camera, you always know what's going on inside and outside your home. Simply Safe is less than $1 a day, and you can set it up in about 30 minutes. And it's always simple to use. There's never a long-term contract, and you can even try it free for 60 days, risk-free. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafekim.com. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera, plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Go to simplysafekim.com, simplysafekim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit gusty today as low pressure moves across northern New Mexico. We'll be very warm with our afternoon high close to 90. That wind gusting to near 40 miles an hour. Blowing dust will be possible, otherwise we'll have sunshine. Clear and upper 40s and breezy for the overnight hours. Sunny and cooler on Wednesday with a cold front dropping in. We'll stay in the mid-70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Doubleheader time on the road today for the Roswell Coyotes. They'll be at Artesia for 2. It starts at 4:30. Roswell is 6-7 overall, but they defeated Lovington on Saturday in a doubleheader 8-5 and then 20-10 in the second game. Savino Lazos in that second game 3 for 4 with a double, triple, and 4 RBI. Also today you've got NMMI at Dexter. NMMI 10-4 overall. Dexter's 3-9, but it's Dexter. It's got the better district record. They swept Tucumcari on Saturday 20-2 and 13-3. NMMI is 0-3 in district play, having been swept by Sandia Prep on Saturday. So that's today at 4 o'clock. Gateway Christian yesterday beats Elida 14-0 to start its district slate. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Small businesses around the country are having problems getting loans. A recently released survey from the Federal Reserve shows how the pandemic has altered the financial landscape for small business. About 85% experienced financial difficulties in 2021, up nearly 20 percentage points from 2019. That's when more than half of the owners who sought a loan were looking to expand. Last year, the majority of applicants needed funds just to cover everyday operating expenses. British travelers going abroad for the Easter holidays had a big problem Monday, as 2 main carriers, British Airways and EasyJet, canceled dozens of flights due to staff shortages related to soaring cases of COVID-19 in the UK. EasyJet grounded 62 flights scheduled for Monday, while British Airways said some 36 of its 115 flights canceled Monday were due to pandemic-related problems. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
There's a whole universe out there. Come explore at the International UFO Museum and Research Center, featuring engaging exhibits and in-depth first-hand accounts of the incident that put Roswell on the map. The research library features the most comprehensive collection of UFO research materials in the world, and you can get exclusive one-of-a-kind gifts and merch from the gift shop or online at roswellufomuseum.com. Don't forget about the UFO Festival, July 1st through 3rd, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Roswell incident. The International UFO Museum and Research Center. It's otherworldly.
If you're a person who has more to do than you have hours in your day, and everything seems to take priority over your own health, then you're going to love the Loveless MyChart Secure Patient Portal. You can message your doctor, make an appointment, or view lab results anytime, day or night, on your computer or smartphone. Print a list of your medications at the click of a mouse, or even compare previous tests to map your health progress. Loveless MyChart connects you to better health, anywhere, anytime.
Brew at the Zoo is back for 2022. Come and tap into a worthy cause. Happening 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. April 30th at the Spring River Zoo. Enjoy great food, an art auction, live music, entertainment and games, and some of the best ice-cold craft beer around. A $40 ticket gets you 15 samples and the 2022 Friends of the Zoo glass. Designated driver tickets are only $25 and come with water, tea, or soft drinks. Early bird pricing is now available through April 16th for only $30. Proceeds go towards exhibits, enclosures, and enrichment for the animals. Get your tickets now for a good time and a worthy cause at friendsofspringriverzoo.org.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour. We'll talk Neighborhood Watch and maybe some colonoscopy. Can't get more exciting than that, right? We'll be back on the other side of news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Russian atrocities in Ukraine, the slaughter of innocent civilians. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says they are not random occurrences, not the work of Russian military units gone rogue.
It's a deliberate campaign to kill, to torture, to rape, to commit atrocities. The reports are more than credible. The evidence is there for the world to see.
The Secretary of State now headed to Brussels for a meeting of NATO and G7 foreign ministers. And the eyes of the world are on the UN this hour as Ukraine's wartime leader is about to address the Security Council.
In his address, it's expected President Zelensky will call for all those accused of atrocities to face justice and for the international community to make sure this happens. He's also likely to call for further sanctions on Russia. Meanwhile, it's been announced that the European Commission President, Ursula von der Leyen, and the EU's foreign policy chief, Joseph Borrell, will travel to the Ukrainian capital Kiev this week for talks with Mr. Zelensky. Also today, more European countries have announced they are expelling Russian diplomats.
That's BBC's Richard Galpin. Satellite images contradict the Kremlin's claim that the killing of civilians in the Ukrainian town of Bucha occurred after Russian troops had left. Republican Senators Murkowski and Romney saying they will vote yes on Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Their support all but assuring her confirmation, and that could come as early as Thursday. Police still hunting for the gunman who opened fire on a crowd in Sacramento, California over the weekend. 6 people killed, 12 others wounded. There has been one arrest in connection with the deadly attack. Wall Street, the Dow's up 130 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
Sarajevo paying a subdued tribute this week to the resilience of its citizens who survived the longest military siege in modern history and commemorating thousands of others who did not. Many of the survivors say they find the 30th anniversary of the start of the siege of the Bosnian capital especially hard because they're marking it against the backdrop of what they describe as similar suffering being inflicted on civilians in Ukraine by Russia's occupying army. A train derailed, overturned after striking a vehicle in southern Hungary early today. 5 people killed, others were injured. The accident occurring just before 7 a.m. local time. Police say a flatbed truck that was carrying workers drove onto the tracks and was hit by the train, which derailed from the force of the collision. 7 men who were in the truck at the time of the collision, according to the Hungarian state news agency MTI. 5 were killed, 2 others taken to the hospital. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. A huge comeback, giving Kansas a national title in men's college basketball.
It was anything but easy for Kansas, but the Jayhawks rallied to beat North Carolina 72-69 in the NCAA Men's National Championship game in New Orleans. David McCormick hit a pair of key buckets in the final minute and 21 seconds. He finished with 15 points and 10 rebounds to power Kansas to its first national title since 2008.
Game's on the line. You got adrenaline pumping. You got a desire. You're going to go get it. I snatched a rebound with two hands. The coach talks about just keeping the ball high and going right back up. And that's the only thing that was going through my mind.
The Jayhawks pulled off the biggest comeback in title game history after erasing a 16-point first-half deficit. Caleb Love missed a tying three at the buzzer, and R.J. Davis and Armando Bacot scored 15 apiece for the Tar Heels. I'm Geffen Coolbaugh.
And watching Wall Street this hour, the NASDAQ is down 67 points, the S&P 10 points higher. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Call with the Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah, welcome to it.
Welcome to your second day of the week. It's really nice at the moment, but the winds are going to be blowing here soon and going to make it not as pleasant.
Exactly. It ain't that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing.
Yes. But you know what? We got it's New Mexico, atypical New Mexico roller coaster weather.
Yeah,
it's
we've
just
had
a different
all of
season.
the seasons this spring so far.
Well, and now this week's no different because we're going to be like windy and 90 today. And then for the next 2 days, we're going to be like mid-70s and 70.
Perfect weather.
And then Saturday, they're going to just jerk right back up to 90 degrees. Yeah. And you're like, whoa, what happened? Hey, what happened? And
good weekend to get out there and go swimming.
Yep. So we got summer and wind today, spring tomorrow and through Friday, and then summer again on Saturday.
Back to summertime.
So anyway, we'll get you the official weather here in just a little bit, but you just got it. So, but we'll do it with all the words.
We will
later. We're also scheduled to talk some neighborhood watch this morning too, so we'll knock that out this hour as well when they come by. But and then I guess I haven't told any of my adventures of the last couple days.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're adventures per se. Just
I would say they're certainly adventurous.
Oh, my dad.
I mean, there's a journey down a tunnel.
Yeah.
You defeated, dragons were defeated.
That's right. I had Tom Cruise with me to help.
In your butt.
Do it down the tunnel.
It's like Inner Space. You ever seen the movie Inner Space?
But yes, I have.
Yeah.
I love Inner Space.
One of my favorites. So you were basically like the Martin Short.
Well, no.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am the Martin Short. Yeah. I wasn't the Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. So you had Tom Cruise as your Dennis Quaid.
And Brendan Fraser.
Oh, wow.
I had them both.
Wow.
I said, I'm getting the mummy. I'm getting them all. I want all mummies.
And that's awesome, too, because Brendan Fraser needs work.
He does. And he's used to being in dark places
that's
for
true.
a long time.
That is true.
Between Encino Man.
With a big old torch.
Between Encino Man and the Blast from the Past, he spent a lot of time down in dark places.
Down in holes. Well,
and then the mummy, of course.
Yeah. Cavernous reaches,
I didn't need him for, say, his Was it Doolittle? What was the one where he's dressed up as the mounted cop?
No,
police. Which one was that one?
Furry Vengeance.
I don't know. Maybe
I think it's called Furry Vengeance. I think
there's one where he's a Mountie, and I don't remember what movie that is.
Well, that was Dudley Do-Right.
Oh, that was Dudley Do-Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
I forgot about that. God, I forgot about that movie. But no, I'm pretty sure the last movie that Brendan Fraser was in, I don't know this for sure, was called Furry Vengeance.
No, that's not on my radar at all. What is that one?
It was from like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even further, longer than that. And it was basically like he was. I don't even know the plot of the movie. I didn't see it, but it was like he was attacked by animals when he was trying to like move in, and I don't know. I have no idea. I just know it was called Furry Vengeance.
All right,
that's the best I can do for you.
Need to say, it probably wasn't a huge hit.
It definitely, it sort of put a period on his career. Of course, I think he just sort of like stepped away. I think he was.
Well, didn't he become a family man? He got married and kids and the whole nine, and kind of devoted life to family again.
Probably for a minute.
I know that's why he did a bunch of the kids movies, like the Do-Right, and there was a couple of George of the Jungle or something, I think, and a couple of those. Kids.
Well, a lot of that's because that's what came a calling.
Well, I don't know. I think that's kind of where he went. I mean, because he was a big deal for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Encino Man and The Mummy kind of blew him up.
It's one of those things I feel like he could have and should have been a lot of a bigger deal, much bigger deal. Like Josh Hartnett is the same way.
Yeah.
He was like everywhere in like every movie back in like the early and mid 2000s.
Yeah.
And then he's nowhere.
He's nowhere now.
Nowhere.
Yeah. I blame Pearl Harbor. That movie killed a lot of careers.
But he did stuff after that. I mean,
only one who survived it, and it's because he's Teflon.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, but even look, it's been rough. It's been a rough go.
They make fun of that man for more of his roles, but he's laughing all the way to the bank. I mean, think about it. We made fun of him for Daredevil. We made fun of him for Batman.
Mm-hmm.
We made fun of him for Pearl Harbor. Even Good Will Hunting, they give him a hard time for. But he's laughing all the way to the bank on every single one of these.
You know the best thing he's ever been in? Jennifer Lopez.
I
was going to leave on that line.
I was going to say Dogma, but all right. That's what I was going to go with on that one. So, very good, very good. So, but yeah, I get tales of my time here yesterday. So we'll talk about that later on in the show as well. Let's see here. It is 11 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit gusty today as low pressure moves across northern New Mexico. We'll be very warm with our afternoon high close to 90. That wind gusting to near 40 miles an hour. Blowing dust will be possible, otherwise we'll have sunshine. Clear and upper 40s and breezy for the overnight hours. Sunny and cooler on Wednesday with a cold front dropping in. We'll stay in the mid-70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently, 50, you know what? It still says 6:51. Let me try refreshing it again. I refreshed it, but it's giving me the old last hour's temps. There we go. There's a fresher one. All right. Currently, 64 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 15%. Kind of low humidity, don't you think? I agree with you. That's probably why between the wind and that, we got this red flag warning thing coming up here. It is with humidity of 15%, winds currently out of the west at 12 miles per hour. Red flag warning in effect 11 a.m. this morning through 8 p.m. this evening. That's because of the wind and all of this stuff. So don't be throwing your cigarette butts out the window. Don't be welding out in the fields, things like that. But today we are looking at some areas of blowing dust this afternoon. They're talking like late after 4. Sunny for today, highs near 90, but the winds will be up out of the west, 10 to 15 this morning, increasing 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour later today. Tonight, seeing some areas of blowing dust, mainly before 7 p.m. Skies will be clear otherwise with an overnight low of 49. Winds will remain breezy out of the west, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Those winds will dip down 15 to 20 after midnight tonight. Sunny for your Wednesday, cooler, high of only 76 tomorrow, which is still nice, but, 90 today, kind of a drop. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 38 and west winds 10 to 15. Thursday, sunny, Highs right around 70. North winds 5 to 10. Friday, another beautiful spring-like day. Sunny skies, highs of 73. And then blows back up to back near 90 for Saturday. Saturday, sunny and 89. And then sunny and 89 and breezy on Sunday. So, and then we're going to start next week in the mid-80s with some wind. So welcome to southeast New Mexico. All right, it is 8:14. We're going to take about a 3-minute commercial break. And then we're going to have Sergeant Grace Frescus with the Roswell Police Department join us on the other side, and we're going to talk Neighborhood Watch and all that good stuff. So don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical. To remember.
Brew at the Zoo is back for 2022. Come and tap into a worthy cause. Happening 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. April 30th at the Spring River Zoo. Enjoy great food, an art auction, live music, entertainment and games, and some of the best ice-cold craft beer around. A $40 ticket gets you 15 samples and the 2022 Friends of the Zoo glass. Designated driver tickets are only $25 and come with water, tea, or soft drinks. Early bird pricing is now available through April 16th for only $30. Proceeds go towards exhibits, enclosures, and enrichment for the animals. Get your tickets now for a good time and a worthy cause at friendsofspringriverzoo.org.
ENMU Roswell offers high school students the opportunity to get a head start on their college education journey into healthcare. Through the Allied Health Careers Pathway, high school learners can enroll in dual credit courses that introduce them to a wide range of careers that include emergency medical technician, paramedic, nursing, occupational therapy, respiratory therapy, medical assisting, phlebotomy, and nursing assistant. Start your healthcare career path at ENMU Roswell. Contact your high school counselor for more information.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 17 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Police Department, we have Sergeant Grace Frescus with, she's actually the Neighborhood Watch part, and then Lieutenant. I think last time I talked to you, you weren't a lieutenant then. No, I don't think you were.
I was a sergeant.
He got a promotion since the last time we talked to him. Lieutenant Richard Romero with us as well. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing good.
Good. How's life at the PD this morning? Always busy, I'm sure.
Super busy.
Yeah.
Super busy, especially now that summer's coming. Everything's getting wilder.
Yeah. And I imagine, I know we got a lot to talk about here, but I'm guessing, since like for 2 years, a lot of people weren't going out and about COVID, probably dealing with a lot of more home stuff. But now that the world's opening back up, it's probably almost the calls you get shift a little bit from your domestic stuff to more stuff out in parks and in the public now, because people are out and about now and they get outside and excited and, well, things happen.
Yeah, it's actually going back to normal.
Gotcha. Normal day-to-day police operation.
Yeah, now people get into fights in stores and
where the
public
good Lord
areas instead of just at home.
Very true. But I know this for a fact. If you are looking for a great career in law enforcement, the Roswell Police Department's always taking applications. They're always grooming the next batch to go off to the academy here and make our next Roswell's finest group here. So if you're interested in that, I guess Lieutenant Romero here is probably the guy that you talk to on that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I've been there for, 4 years, I think, in the division, so just kind of off and on. But,
but you're very familiar with the training and the whole...
Totally.
And him and guys like him, they really do a good job to prepare you before you even go to the academy.
Yes,
so
before we put you to the street, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get so much training. So if you have a desire to just... Even if you're like, well, I don't know if I know the laws, and they'll teach you all of that. If you have the heart and dedication, the rest they can teach you. You know what I mean?
Of course. And there's always refreshers for law block for the new laws that come out.
And I imagine you guys are kind of like doctors and teachers where the training's constantly evolving and changing. So even when you're a full-fledged police officer doing your daily shift and things, you still have a lot of opportunities where you take training days and things because there's either new procedures or new stuff that your guys are seeing on the street that you have to educate yourselves on and things. So it's a constantly evolving your training anyway, regardless whether you've been doing it for 20 years or you're a first-day recruit.
Yes, we're required to update our certification every so often, every 2 years.
Good deal.
We have to have so many hours for 2 years.
Gotcha. Good deal. Yeah, it's constantly keeping you on your toes, I'm sure.
Yes.
But what we want to talk a little bit about today is if you don't desire to be a police officer, but you care about your community and like to see a great area, then we've got another opportunity for you to get involved with, and it's one you've heard of before. It's called Neighborhood Watch.
Yes.
And really, I would say for your job as officers, a well-run neighborhood watch is a vital tool in helping you guys do what you do on the streets. So when you have neighborhood watch programs that are active, participate in, kind of, and it doesn't require a lot of work. It's not like the movies where you have to put on your vest and walk around. You know what I mean? It's not like that. It's really just looking out for your neighbors and the people. And I'm stealing your speech. I know I am, but the people that live there know best on what the day-to-day looks like there.
Exactly.
So you're the experts in that community. So when you see things that don't look normal, you're going to notice it way before a police officer or someone else will. And that's what Neighborhood Watch is all about.
Yes, the community is the eyes and the ears of this little division. I am a one-man division. And so it's actually really wonderful because, like you said, each community is different.
Yeah.
Everybody has their specific and unique needs. So once I actually go and do meet and greet with them and talk to them and find out what their concerns or problems are, it's crazy how different they are. I mean, one could be speeding. The other ones are more of, and this is crazy. I actually had a group of people that were saying, well, birds were attacking us from the trees.
Those birds, man.
Like swooping down on us. I thought, wow, okay, as long as there's no crime, we're good.
I haven't arrested any birds lately.
Get the bird police over there.
But you laugh. But I completely agree. I think I know what you're talking about. Like my neighborhood, we were joking. I live over in North Springs. We talked about this, but that's a lot of trees, a lot. And I'm telling you, around migrating season, I ain't gonna lie, it's a little Alfred Hitchcock out there. When you walk out to take your trash cans, and you're just hearing thousands of birds in the trees going, you're like, am I safe? Are they going to dive down? You get a little weirded out. So it does not surprise me that you've gotten a few.
Yeah, so it ranges. The complaints or the concerns do range.
Yeah, you get everything from serious stuff to something like that, birds on attack here and things. But really, that's the relationship. We want that relationship between our law enforcement officers and the neighborhoods. It's we're all on the same team. We all want to live in a great place, and being able to just be the person that says, hey, the last couple nights there's been some guy walking through here or whatever. That's how arrests are made. That's how bad guys are taken off the street. Rarely do you catch people in the act. You're not going to walk in on a barricade and you got a guy red-handed going, oops, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You catch him afterwards at traffic stops, walking through neighborhoods, doing casing the next place or just doing things that, that's how you catch these bad guys. But if you don't have the information saying, hey, I've been seeing this guy walking this last couple nights over here, or this, you guys won't know to look for these things or be in those areas. And so you're basically telling officers, hey, this is the guy, he's been hanging out here, send an officer to kind of patrol that area around this time, and I bet you'll find this guy.
Absolutely.
That's neighborhood watch.
Yes.
A perfect example is that is like we could be driving by and see somebody standing out by a vehicle that doesn't belong to this guy, but we don't know that. So we just drive by and don't think anything.
Nothing of it.
And then, but the neighbors see the guy standing out there and they call it in.
Flag
so
it down.
Easy, simple way to put it. So
yeah, and really it's and this is where you guys do your best police stuff. I think is that neighborhood relationships. You guys can, when a strong neighborhood watch and everyone kind of on the same page and understanding and looking out for each other. It makes it really hard for bad guys to get away with the bad things. I'm not saying they won't commit crimes because, that's what happens. But they're going to think twice when they know that neighborhood is looking out everything they do, and they break in one, and next thing you know, they get busted. The odds of them coming back, probably pretty low.
Yeah, and, even
101.
Yeah, exactly.
And even speaking of that, I have these really large signs that I'll have our streets guys put up.
Okay.
And so, but it kind of looks like maybe there's cameras or something in the area.
It sets up
It's a great deterrent.
It looks like, hey, we're a team. We're part of the community here. We're looking for guys like you. Go ahead and try your stuff. Odds are pretty good we're going to get you caught.
Yes.
And it really sends that message. So when you see those neighborhood watch signs everywhere, and you see an active group walking around and just seeing. That's how it works.
Yes, and I have had actual neighborhoods that have told me that the normal foot traffic that's gone on goes somewhere else as a result of those signs, which is really nice.
Yeah, the people that are up to no good, they know what they're looking for when they know they're opportunists, just like we all are.
Yes.
They path of least resistance. Shoot. Most robberies and things, it's all path of least resistance. It's breaking into a car and taking it. Rarely, the criminals rarely want any people contact either. They just want to get what they get and be on their way. So if you're hanging out, making it really hard, making it known that there's a lot of eyeballs just hanging out in this area, they're going to be like, I'll move on to the other neighborhood here. It really does work. It makes it to where only the most desperate of criminals are going to want to go through or the dumbest.
Opportunistic.
Yeah.
So anything that's an easy opportunity, they're going to try to take it.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So a good neighborhood watch can really prevent some of that. And I'll let you kind of explain us the kind of the responsibilities of a neighborhood watch, because it varies from community to community, but
it does.
It's you don't necessarily have to literally all right, 10 o'clock on a Friday night, we get flashlights and walk around. And it's not really like that.
No, because it's actually a 24-hour thing that everybody's looking out for each other.
Yeah.
Some people can go to work, and you've got those neighbors that, stay home, they're retired, and so they're just in the neighborhood walking their dog, and that's just part of the neighborhood watch.
Absolutely.
They're watching out for their neighbors.
Yeah.
And then those people could go to bed early, and you've got the people coming home from work, and of course they can see the area. Another thing I was going to say was one of the things I do with my neighborhoods is I want to be the bridge of communication between any city entities and the Roswell Police Department.
Okay.
So our captains, or the main person of contact for each of these neighborhoods, they can get a hold of me and let me know certain things if it's not an emergency. That way we're not overwhelming front desk with complaints of certain things. That way I can get it out to the correct areas to be investigated.
Do you get non-police stuff for neighborhood watch? And what I mean by, because I know the city, if you go to the city's website and you want to report, say, a street light out or birds. there is a link on the website to do that, but I didn't know if, as a neighborhood watch side, you get a lot of people like, man, if they fix that, because that's a safety and security issue, a street light or something like that. So I was wondering if you dealt with a lot of those kind of all right, obviously the police department's not up there changing light bulbs, but they can get that message over to the city streets guys and those people that can do that.
Yeah, I actually do have the connections. Actually, Excel has been amazing to work with. They have been more than helpful with a lot of these neighborhoods.
Good deal.
We're actually working on one right now on the east side of town to get their neighborhood lit up, because now that it's summertime, there's going to be kids wanting to play outside in their front lawns or areas, and there's no light.
Sure. And where darkness goes, that's where, shenanigans follow. It's just what happens.
Exactly.
It's just out of sight, out of mind. Opportunity is everything,
Yes.
It's just like kids. You put a group of excellent kids in a room and you stick a bunch of liquor and stuff. Yeah, a couple won't do a thing, but some are like, well, a lot of people have a good time doing this. I'm going to try it. You know what I mean? It's all about opportunity. So, don't give it.
Right.
Make sure those lights are lit up and things like that. And,
absolutely.
And of course, it follows true. I know we're not really in holiday season, but when that goes, when you're out and about in your neighborhoods or shopping and do all that, don't make it easy for these folks. Exactly. Lock your doors. Leave if you've got expensive items. Don't leave them in plain sight in your vehicle. Hide them. Don't. Half the time they weren't going to break in, but they just walked by and saw an iPad or a phone or whatever purse sitting on a front seat or something, and cling, and they're gone.
Well, that's something else too. And it's crazy, but there are people out there that will leave large sums of cash in their vehicle, and it'll get broken into. Well, there goes the cash.
And then they're like, "Well, what happened?" And like,
yeah, absolutely.
Granted, you're right. It shouldn't be. We should, humans should be decent, but they aren't. They just, it's humanity's not. So you have to be proactive to a point, and that's and part of it is just being a little street smarts there. Locking doors and keeping things out of plain sight. Things around your home. Don't when we talk about shrubs and stuff, the well-lit areas, and don't provide a lot of little hiding spots for people to hide in when they're trying to break into your homes and things like that.
Well, and information and education through the Neighborhood Watch program is also what's been helping a lot of the community members that I have.
Good.
I do send out, it depends on how the captains want to be notified, but I'll send out text messages, or I will send an email out to people. Like if I see a certain pattern in our calls for service, because I've got the computer linked to all the other patrol cars in town.
Gotcha.
Say if there's a bunch of vehicle burglaries. Actually, last week, let me give you an example. We had some kids that decided to go and break into a bunch of vehicles and smash windows in the downtown area.
Was it robbing or vandalism?
No, just a bunch of vandalism.
Okay, gotcha.
So a lot of people aren't going to know to go and look at certain items. Well, I went ahead and sent all these people, hey, go and check your vehicles, your buildings, and sure enough, they did find a bunch of damage.
Places that they necessarily don't look at every day or go
so
involved
trying
with
to give them the information so either they know that this is what's going on, hey, let your other neighbors know. That's all part of the Neighborhood Watch program that we have going on.
Yeah, but you're right. That's it's all about keeping out and keeping a lookout. And if things don't look right or seem right, report it. That's the big thing. Is we all have our little intuitions, our little gut in your stomach. Humans, we've got that ability. And sometimes some are stronger with it than others, but we all have that. And sometimes you're in a situation in life and you're like, something's off-putting, something just doesn't line up right here, and that sometimes that gut's a pretty good indicator.
Yeah. All it takes is a phone call.
And so a quick phone call to law enforcement, and next thing you know, and if it's nothing, your gut is nothing, guess what? The officers will figure that out and be like, oh, it's no big deal. We'll go on about our day.
Yeah.
But your little gut feeling may have uncovered something that was nefariously planned, prevented it from happening, a major robbery or worse, so don't deny your gut sometimes. If your gut's telling you something don't seem right, report it. And this is if you're at the store, if you're at your house, wherever it is, if you're in a scenario don't look right or feel right.
Yes, so you can either call the front desk to the Roswell Police Department or call 911.
Yeah.
One of the things I do have to tell my people is, yes, please give me information, but I'm not always there because I'm holding meetings or I'm at, speaking engagements, things of that nature, or I'm on my days off. So not all the time.
Once in a while?
Every once in a while, thankfully.
One falls in your lap every once in a while.
And so I'm not around to answer the phone or anything or return messages or forward it. So a lot of it depends.
Yeah. But the worst thing you can do is do nothing. That's the point we want to make here. And if you have questions and things, and you're out and about town and you see a Roswell police officer or a county sheriff, for that matter, any law enforcement, don't hesitate to walk up and talk to them and ask questions and things. They, as long as they're not actively in a situation or something going on, they're just, patrolling or maybe stopping for a meal break or something, talk to them. They, talk. Obviously, if you're looking for recruitment, that's a great place to learn more about what, like, being a police officer. But if you have questions and things or about just stuff you're seeing, or if you don't know, law enforcement officers are there as information centers as much as they are to serve and protect. That's part of the serving.
So is the community too.
Yeah.
One of the things I do enjoy about my job is that we will have these meetings, and they're 1-hour meetings, and it depends on the neighborhood. We'll hold it once a month or quarterly or whenever is more feasible for them.
Sure.
We will brainstorm together, and we will talk about, okay, how do we resolve this?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't always have all the answers, but there are people out there that would be able to give me ideas.
Sure.
But that's, again, how you work together.
Well, it's pulling the information. You have your expertise on law enforcement things, these individuals' expertise on the neighborhood, on what the activity's like, who lives there, what's going on, what looks normal, what does not. And so that partnership, your law enforcement expertise with their eyes and ears, can make a very, very strong deterrent for these kind of things in your neighborhood. So do your part. Law enforcement's ready to do theirs. Come. If you want to, this is part of what people doing. If you want a good place to live, if you want a great community, your government and everything's going to help do that. But at the end of the day, the people have to stand up and roll up their sleeves and get involved, because that's what makes a community great. It's the people in it and what they do. And so the neighborhood watch is really almost a linchpin, I think, in law enforcement in being the best tool for creating that police officer community relations. Because obviously I'm telling you guys, better than I do. That's been questioned in the last 3 years, that relationship, and due to a lot of bad information, some good, some bad, but I think we're all learning from that. And the good news is, we keep things like Neighborhood Watch, that fosters more of that. That fosters more. It makes better police officers. It makes better neighborhoods. It really is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, anything else real quick on Neighborhood Watch? I do want to talk a little recruitment with you and just some other stuff we're seeing, too.
No, if anyone has any questions, please call me at 624-6770. My extension is 4162, and I would love to chat, whether in person or on the phone.
I know for a fact she'll come out to, if you have your neighborhood meetings, or, whether you have like an HOA or just an informal meeting together, or maybe you want to create a meeting of the neighbors for a Neighborhood Watch. Reach out to Sergeant Frescas here, and she'll be happy to.
Especially if there's food, I'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
She's kidding, but she ain't wrong. I'm just saying, when you want to gather people, I don't care what it is, bring food. They will come.
We do that at our meetings, and we talk what we want to talk about.
Exactly, and everyone's happy.
And it's lots of fun.
It's better to talk about Neighborhood Watch, say, over a sandwich.
Yeah. You're not so hangry having conversations.
Focus, But I kid, but this really is a good thing. Do that. In all seriousness, do that. Make it a cookout. Maybe make a neighborhood cookout. Y'all get together on a Saturday, and y'all bring a covered dish, or go find a common area and bust out the grills and invite Sergeant Frescas over to come and talk and eat a rib with you.
I'll be there.
You might even bring Lieutenant Romero. He'd be like, I'll come with you.
I've been to a few of them, and I do grub.
He's like, I ate a lot. Matter of fact, they kicked me out because I ate too much. I'm just kidding.
I went home for the evening, and I wasn't hungry to eat dinner with the family.
Right. Got home and it's like, you cheating on me with another neighborhood? Yeah, I ate a bunch of ribs.
And just so you guys know, we do have 25 active streets. We actually have about 5 or 6 super active neighborhoods.
Good.
And 11 business watch businesses here in town.
But we could use more. The more the merrier here.
So please reach out.
It would be awesome to see Neighborhood Watch signs over every single street in the city. Wouldn't it be cool? Every neighborhood's just littered with signs at every corner.
And the ones that we have are actually different from the ones that you would usually see out there that are sun faded.
Gotcha.
So these are different.
Gotcha. And a fresh one. They don't look like they're from 20 years ago. It's like, they had a Neighborhood Watch
It's fresh, but it's also a different design.
Sure.
But it's still the blue eye, and it's still blue.
Well, again, going back to the deterrent side, if they're seeing fresh, brand new signs out there versus the 30-year-old signs,
exactly,
they're like, oh, they're this is recent. This is updated.
Yes.
They're not messing around over there. If you got unfortunately, you see the signs from 30 years ago. Oh yeah, there was an active neighborhood in
But
there.
there isn't.
Yeah, not
But
now.
if there are old street signs that are out there, if you folks want them replaced, as long as you guys are an active neighborhood watch group, I will have them replaced.
Awesome. Just reach out and call
Yes,
you.
and I can get that done.
And if your neighborhood watch is not active and you'd like to make it active, then you also call her and she'll help you do that.
Yes.
She can help, I'm sure, and if you need ideas, because I'm sure every neighborhood's different on how they organize. Some it's hanging out at somebody's house.
Yes.
Some they meet at a
a community church.
Yeah, community church, a neutral location. And others may just, maybe it's a couple people in the neighborhood starting the early groundwork and they haven't been, they're calling you out, one or two neighbors, and they're saying, hey, Sergeant Frescus want to start something. Can you help us? And you give them the paperwork, give them the ideas and things, and then they go into the neighborhood and build it up, and then they call you back when they're ready to have a bigger meeting or something like that.
Yeah, I start out with a meet and greet to meet everybody in the neighborhood and then munch and, just talk about, okay, what's going on within your community that we could probably help with.
Gotcha.
And then if they want to go ahead and continue with the program, okay, then let's get some guest speakers lined up for the 1 hour meeting.
Gotcha. People that have experience and know exactly.
We have had city councilors. We have had, actually one time we had Candy Spence-Zell come hang out with us.
State representative, cool.
So it's a personable one-on-one thing with that neighborhood so that you know what's going on in your side of the state or your side of your community.
Sure.
That's all part of the Neighborhood Watch program.
And that's also a great conduit for you guys too, because I'm sure you reach out to some of these neighborhood watch, especially if there's something going on in the area and saying, hey, I'm getting reports of this. You guys ought to take just be on the lookout for that. I'm getting some reports from neighborhoods nearby about this. I'm sure there's that intercommunication as well between the active neighborhood watch. It's like, hey, couple neighborhoods over, there's something going on, in case that blows our way, be on the lookout kind of thing. That's how neighborhood watch works, is that kind of stuff. But the only way that happens is people got to stand up and step up and be willing to meet and start the process here.
Yes, absolutely.
So reach out to Sergeant Frescus here if you have any questions about any of this stuff. If you want to learn more about it, if you want to organize something, if you want to reestablish a neighborhood watch that went defunct in your neighborhood, or if you want to start from scratch or whatever, come reach out here. And
I just got to give the kudos. I mean, she's doing an excellent job. She's Sergeant Frescus has taken over the entire program by herself. And,
single-handedly.
She's doing excellent.
She looks happy and cheerful. I figured someone who did that looked a little more run down and tired, but she looks pretty chipper.
It's actually really nice. And then I love to visit. So
so then you're good to go. If you like talking with people.
Yes, and I like sharing information. Well, not information that if it's like
private,
active, ongoing, but
keeping people informed.
Yes. Because I want people to know what's going on in their surrounding community.
Sure. And speaking of that, real quick, while we got you, is there anything citywide that we need to let folks know about? Any rash of things that you guys are seeing, or any?
So fentanyl has been hitting pretty bad here in town. One of the things that has come up is that it's actually in a small pill form that kind of looks like aspirin or Advil.
Just fentanyl?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. See, I always thought they just used it as like when they couldn't make enough heroin, they use it to kind of fill it out to make it. I mean, I have no idea. I watch Narcos. That's about my knowledge of the cocaine trade. But like when those Colombians and all that make all the drugs and there's not enough cocaine crop, they lace it with the fentanyl. I didn't know you could just do fentanyl by itself.
It is also being laced, and that is a huge problem because you're starting to see some overdoses with it.
Okay. So I didn't know they were taking fentanyl just to take fentanyl. I thought they were thinking they were getting heroin and getting fentanyl by accident and dying. Are there people seeking fentanyl?
They don't know sometimes that it's fentanyl, and they think it's cocaine or some other form.
I got you.
That's broken up into powder substance, and then they use it thinking that it's a different
So what do
drug.
they think the pill is? Is that just a vessel of getting it to where they want to lace it with?
Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't know.
They usually know what that is for the pill.
But sometimes people don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't understand if you knowingly take fentanyl. I mean, not that I'm condoning drug, but I don't know. Everyone knows that fentanyl's going to kill you. It's just gonna.
And we've had some encounters of people saying, hey, just so you know that there's fentanyl in there. And you just kind of wonder, why would you do that?
It sounds, and I mean, and for folks that aren't realize how dangerous, I mean, as law enforcement officers, you come in contact with fentanyl, you guys hazmat suit up, and I mean, that's how bad this stuff is. It can't come in contact with skin and all that stuff. This is some seriously bad stuff.
Just breathing it in the air can actually cause you to faint and go into some medical conditions or.
And you have people willingly ingesting, or however they're getting it into their systems, and
you can actually absorb it into your skin and can overdose that
That's
way.
what I've heard. A lot of officers, get worried when they're searching people, and they're worried about coming across a needle or something with fentanyl laced or touched, because come in contact with your skin, now you're exposed. And,
which is also why we carry Narcan on us now.
Yeah.
Is that something like every officer carries?
Every officer in the state, it's required.
Is it that bad where you guys come across that many overdosing people where everyone carries it like you would a flashlight?
Absolutely.
That's insane. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong that you guys have it and are saving lives this way, but the mere fact you need that is
your
scary.
own.
Yeah, or your own. Yeah, you protect yourself. Yeah, I didn't think about that. You protect yourself as much as getting exposed as you are saving people's lives out there.
Yes, if you find like a little pill somewhere, because I usually tell my neighborhood watch people, sometimes you'll have that foot traffic of just unknown people. And sometimes they'll either hide their stash or drop their stash in accident. Don't pick it up, call us, and we'll go get it to have it destroyed.
Yeah, you don't want that. Even if you're thinking, well, I don't want kids to, maybe stay around and hang around with it till an officer arrives on the scene, but don't try to pick it up. It could, I'd hate for someone to lose their life or get very sick because they're just trying to do something good. That'd be a bummer. So, So even if it looks, it's just a bag of cocaine, be careful.
Because you can absorb that stuff through your skin.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
It's too easy to have a bad thing happen there.
Yes.
That's why we call law enforcement. That's why we have neighborhood watch. You keep an eye out on this type of stuff. Is that really though the big, like when we talk about Roswell and things? Is it drugs the worst? Is that 9 times out of 10 you're dealing with calls that are drug related in some way, shape, or form?
Yes. Wow. Unfortunately, but it's like that everywhere.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
just
not
Roswell.
New to Roswell. That's everywhere.
Yeah, but unfortunately, yes, it is a big issue.
And is it mostly fentanyl, or is it?
It's everything.
Is it everything? I mean, I know obviously with cannabis and what's going on there now, it's all recreational and all the different. But really, that the fentanyl's the big. I mean, that's what's killing people and everything.
Well, we've had a couple of reports of marijuana being laced with the fentanyl as well.
Wow.
So we've had to really, we're careful anyway, but we've really had to be careful.
Wow. Shoot. Yeah, because you think the marijuana is safer now because now you can get it recreationally. Well, at least Roswell, you will be here soon. But you know what I mean? If it's coming from reputable places, then one would assume it's safer. You know what I mean? Right. But obviously if you're buying marijuana off the street, that's
different.
Yeah, if you're going into a dispensary to get, they're not going to be laced with it because there's so much regulation involved there.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not even funny, but buying it off the street, even though, which is probably another tip, even though recreational marijuana is technically legal here, if you're selling it on the street, you're going to get caught, and that's illegal. And obviously, if you're looking to try weed for the first time, probably not a good idea, but if you do, don't go hit the guy on the street corner and say, give me a dime bag. Let me try it. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is. It's still a dime bag.
Go to a reputable dealer.
Yeah, go to probably shouldn't skip it anyway.
I shouldn't say dealer. I should just say
dispensary.
Dispensary. Yeah. Golly, that's a wrong word.
It's got a better connotation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a good drug dealer.
Yeah.
But it really is. And I think... and that's probably something parents and everything we need to keep a watch. Now that recreational marijuana is a thing and all of that too, be careful with what your kids are getting into. I already heard of some kids up north trying getting edibles out to a bunch of kids. I saw something on the news yesterday about a kid brought a bunch of edibles to school.
Even the fentanyl.
Yeah.
And it's in the vape pens too.
Wow.
We've already had some of those.
Wow. I wonder, do you think people are buying it like from a legitimate thing and then lacing it afterwards?
It's a possibility, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so again, if you're going to be doing it, buy it directly from the reputable source. If you're going to be doing the marijuana, obviously cocaine and on down is not legal, and there is no such thing as a reputable source. But when it comes to this marijuana and things like that, it's and of course, you yourself, if you're going to partake, this is just like handling alcohol. If you're going to be toking up or eating or whatever you're doing to ingest the marijuana, don't be out driving. Don't be out doing things. It's just like alcohol.
Yes.
It impairs your body.
Yep.
And you need to stay home or stay in a place where you're not on the streets. You're in some place safe and enjoying it with your friends and family or whatever you're doing and doing that. Don't, it's just like alcohol. It's going to alter alter your perception. It's going to alter your mood. So, you're not probably going to be as aggressive. I don't know a whole lot of aggressive potheads. They're usually pretty tame.
Unless they lace it with something else.
Yeah. But it will impair your driving. Don't be out driving and things.
Yes, it will.
Maybe there'll be a few less fights. They're all stoned out instead of on alcohol.
Yeah.
Granted, they're going to be a lot more fun. Guys might have to carry like bags of Fritos, and how you guys sometimes law enforcement carries like a backpack with bears and things for kids whenever there's a bad situation. You might have to add some Fritos like in the trunk there in case.
You over there. Here's a bag of chips for you. You over there.
Calm down, bud. Here's some Fritos. You'll be all right.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Just having fun. I have a radio show. I got to entertain people with dumbness.
Well, not to mention, you have to be 21 and over.
Yeah, that's true. They're still underage. You can't be 18 or under, or 21 and under 21, and legally partake. So don't wait till you're 21 and then make your own decisions. And to be honest, I mean, I'm going to sit here and go on proclivities of what good, bad, indifferent on marijuana smoke, but I do know this. The drugs and the alcohol, I mean, it's bad for everybody. I mean, people's talking about benefits of marijuana and things. We can have that debate all day, but I do know this. If you're underage, it's bad across the board because your brain, your body is still developing. It's maturing into the adult. So when you start adding chemical substances into that process, you're really messing up your growth and development process in your body. Once you're in your 20s and 30s and it's fully gone, then it's all downhill from there. It's on you. But until you're 21, your body's still making you and still making you who you are. Even though you feel like you're full end-of-the-line product, you're not. Your body's still developing. Your brain's still developing. Things are still developing there. And you're seriously impeding that or hurting that by doing drugs and stuff when you're 16 years old. I know it's cool. All the kids, I get all of that, but I'm serious. That's why it's so bad. It's not like, oh, my adults are. No, it's worse for you to do these things as kids. If you want to ruin your life as an adult, that's up to you. But as a child, at least give your body the full potential to do what it needs to do before you make decisions on it.
Very good point.
That's my thought on that. But that's why it's so hard for kids that's why we're so hard on kids about drugs and alcohol and things, because it's so much more dangerous for you to ingest it or do it than. I'm not saying it's a picnic for adults either, but there's so much more long-term consequences from a child doing it. As an adult, you're dealing with other issues at that point. And, you've got probably bigger fish to fry than your dependency
back
on
problems.
Whatever. So,
arthritis.
Is there anything else we mentioned? Anything we wanted to mention? Anything that I sidetracked us on that we didn't get a chance to talk about? We get all. No. Of course, if you're like you said, if you're interested in becoming a law enforcement officer with the Roswell Police Department, call out, reach out. What's the website that you guys are steering people towards?
Still RoswellPolice.com.
RoswellPolice.com is the website. You can go there and fill out an application, read about it here, and of course. Can you go there for the Neighborhood Watch as well?
Yes, there's actually a link for it.
Okay, so you can go there to there if you want to learn more about Neighborhood Watch.
Yes.
If you don't remember phone numbers and things you're driving about, just go to the Roswell PD website or even on the Roswell PD Facebook page. If you shoot a message out there and say, hey, I heard on the radio about Neighborhood Watch this morning, and they'll put you in touch with someone.
Or come visit me at the PD.
Yeah. You'll be, you got your office there at the PD.
Yes, I do.
And if you've never been to the PD, I know it's an older building and all that, but
it's from the 70s.
Yeah. I got to tour it when I was in Leadership Roswell a few years ago, and it's an old bank.
I'm class of 2021.
Nice.
Best class ever.
Oh, nice. I was 2019 or 2020. I don't remember which one it was. But anyway, I got to tour the RPD, and it was an old bank, but it's really cool to see that building. It's kind of neat to, by the way, the old, bank vault. I think that's where y'all store something in there. Like, I don't know if it's drugs or firearms or something. Something that needs to be in a vault. Yeah. It's just funny. It's like, man, that was a bank vault. Now it's really, it was just, I don't know. It's just kind of cool for me to see. I know you guys probably want a new facility and everything.
Big.
Yeah, but it's a unique looking police station. It's just it's different. It's just me. But anyway, reach out if you want any information about Neighborhood Watch, recruitment, and of course, if you're having questions or anything related to anything like that, laws stuff, anything, or if you're seeing stuff that doesn't sound right to you, please report it. Please report it. If you're at a store, if you're in your neighborhood. and you're seeing, you don't have to start a neighborhood watch formally to report these kind of things. If you're seeing
Absolutely.
things that don't look right, let law enforcement know. Let them check it out. If it's nothing will happen. If it's something, you just may have saved a life. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, thank you guys.
Well, thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Appreciate all the help you guys do for everyone, and we got to get you guys in back more regular again. And now that we're back to regular policing instead of COVID policing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a nightmare. That was a nightmare.
I imagine it's got to be way harder for you guys because anytime you get people together in a consolidated space, tempers are gonna, you know what I mean? It's just people get, especially if it's a long period of time, you get sick of looking at each other, talking to each other, and then you start getting mad at each other.
Mm-hmm.
That starts problems, and then they call you guys. And, and for folks that don't know, when it comes to law enforcement, probably one of the scariest calls a law enforcement officer can have is a domestic call.
Yes.
That's the ones that there's so many unknown variables for them in those on.
You're going into somebody else's territory that they're comfortable with.
So it's really
very personal.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're going into someone's personal life.
Yep.
It's not like you pull them over on the street and you stand on the street corner and it's neutral territory.
Exactly.
You're in someone's nooks and crannies and crevices. You don't know what's behind that corner. They do. And that can be a very uncomfortable scenario for a law enforcement officer. So I'm glad that you get little less of those now, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's going to be less.
Yeah, it's going back to normal, like
back
I
to
said.
outdoors and stuff. But thank you guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime. We'd love to keep you guys in regular just to kind of talk about this, keep people up to date, and obviously if there's stuff going on, just to get the word out to people. So
absolutely.
Good deal. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Good seeing you. I told him he looks younger now than when last time I saw him. I don't know what happened. He's one of the few guys that looks younger when I saw him last.
Oil of Olay.
That's right. Ponce de Romero here.
I've got a fountain of youth.
He's making Kim Kardashian look bad.
This is a fountain of youth pen. It's a fountain.
Let me leave you my card, though.
Awesome. Thank you.
Just
Thank
in
you,
case.
guys. Appreciate it. All right. It is 8:55. Let's take a quick break before news. Don't go away.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical.
to remember.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 58 minutes after 8 o'clock. We got Town Hall News coming up here in just about a minute and a half or so. Next hour, we don't have a guest scheduled, so you get a whole lot of me. I'm just going to chit-chat next hour. I have not told my story of the weekend yet and shared my not that people are dying to hear it, but we'll talk all about that next hour. Talk about my adventures in colonoscopying, and then talk about the weekend, all that good stuff. So that's what we got planned. But I mentioned earlier, I did watch that 3 episodes of Julia. It's the Julia Childs deal. It's on HBO Max. I'm not sure if they're showing it on regular HBO, like on Sunday nights or something. They may be. I don't know. There's 3 episodes up on HBO Max. I don't know if it's strictly an HBO Max thing or it's really good though. I hope they put it on HBO if they don't. But I've actually gotten into it. It's slower. You really have to be knowing of Julia Childs to be into it, because if you're not or not into cooking, you're probably going to find it slow. It's a slower show. It's Julia Childs. It's talking about. I mean, it's a good show. It's and I'm not sure the actress's name that plays Julia Childs. She's not famous to my knowledge. David Hyde Pierce from Frasier fame is her husband. I'm trying to think who else is. There's a couple other recognizable people in there, but it's a lot of mostly an unknown cast. As a matter of fact, her best friend is I don't know the actress's name, but I've seen her in other things. She's been Miss Maisel. She was in that, but I've seen her in other stuff too. But it's pretty good. Worth a check out. It's 3 up there. And if you liked it, I did. I dug it. So, all right, it's 9 o'clock. Time for Town Hall News. You listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. In his address to the UN Security Council just moments ago, Ukrainian President Zelensky detailing a long list of gruesome atrocities committed against civilians by Russian troops in Ukraine. Zelensky taking the world body to task.
Where is the security that the Security Council needs to guarantee? It's not there.
Zelensky calling for Russia's ouster from the UN. Secretary of State Blinken says there is nothing random about the atrocities being carried out by the Russians. He calls it a deliberate campaign to kill, to torture, to rape, to commit atrocities.
This reinforces our determination and the determination of countries around the world to make sure that one way or another, one day or another, there is accountability for those who committed these acts, for those who ordered them.
And he's headed to Brussels for meetings with NATO and G7 foreign ministers. The International Red Cross continuing to hit a Russian brick wall as it tries to get life-saving humanitarian relief to civilians trapped in Mariupol. Colorado's Democrat Governor Jared Polis signing a bill guaranteeing a fundamental right to abortion. The measure aimed at protecting the procedure should the Supreme Court overturn Roe v. Wade. The support of Republican Senators Romney and Murkowski, all but assuring the confirmation of Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Republican Congressman Fred Upton of Michigan, he was a yes vote to impeach President Trump, says he's retiring. Fred Upton calling it a career after 35 years on Capitol Hill. There's now been a second arrest in connection with the weekend mass shooting, Sacramento, California. The attack killed 6 people and wounded a dozen others. On Wall Street right now, stocks in negative territory with the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 5 points. The NASDAQ is off 189. The S&P 17 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
So when we brought him home, we didn't realize that Bear, the rescue dog, was actually sick. He had very flaky skin. He was dropping a lot of fur. And Levette wanted to do steroid injections, special dog food. Nothing seemed to work. So I was at a dead end.
DINOVITE.com.
I've been hearing Dinovite on the radio for years. It never actually crossed my mind to try it until it finally sunk in. Oh, you're talking about hair and skin. And, all right, I'll try it. Well, it took probably 6 weeks, but after we started using Dinovite, no more flaky skin. He doesn't scratch and itch, and he started to put weight on.
Dinovite is nutrition.
I wish that we would have started the Dinovite right away. It would have been so much easier.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
Every rescue dog in America deserves Dinovite for 90 days.
DINOVITE.com.
The House approves a bill that would limit the cost of insulin to $35 a month for Americans with health insurance.
The Affordable Insulin Now Act was approved by a vote of 232 to 193, with 12 Republicans joining Democrats in voting for the bill. According to the Kaiser Foundation, if the bill is signed into law, about 1 in 5 Americans who have large employer coverage and are taking insulin would save money. The cost of insulin for patients with insurance ranges from $334 a month to $1,000 a month. Republicans in Congress have generally opposed the insulin bill because it could raise insurance premiums for consumers and costs for insurers. The bill now moves to the Senate, where it will need Republican support to pass. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
Jury selection in the deadliest U.S. mass shooting ever to go to trial has begun. A judge, prosecutors, defense attorneys have started screening the first candidates for the 12-member panel. Will decide if Nicholas Cruz is executed or gets life in prison. Cruz has pleaded guilty to the murders of 17 people in Parkland, Florida, 2018. Townhall.com. Maryland lawmakers vote to put the legalization of recreational marijuana on the November ballot.
After voting 94-39 for the constitutional amendment, the Maryland House also gave final approval last week to a separate measure that takes steps to implement recreational marijuana if voters approve. However, it leaves matters of licensing and taxes until next year. The constitutional amendment does not require approval from Republican Governor Larry Hogan. The amendment defines that recreational marijuana would not be legal until July 2023 for people 21 and over. Rhonda Rockster reports.
A huge comeback giving Kansas a national title in men's college basketball. The Jayhawks bring their fourth NCAA title back to Allen Fieldhouse thanks to a second-half flurry that erased a 16-point deficit, eventually overcoming North Carolina 72-69. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Indeed.
Hope your Tuesday's going swimmingly.
Yeah, it's definitely less of a pain in the butt than yesterday was for you, right?
Literally.
Yeah. I got to imagine.
Yeah.
So I was keeping everybody updated on your goings on. That Kim updated me and said that everything went well.
Mm-hmm.
That you guys were heading to grab some food, then headed home.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to ask, did you complete your journey of going and getting the soup that you so desired?
Mm-hmm. Mission accomplished. Yeah, I'll share with you.
Nice.
Not the food. It's gone. I think. Might be some soup left there. But the rest of it's gone.
Yeah.
I'll chit-chat all about that this hour and my experiences yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But point is, everything went well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go back for 3 years. So no more colonoscopy stories for 3 years.
That's awesome. When anybody says, hey, I don't have to see you for a long time, cool.
Yeah. Now, I do have a follow-up appointment on the 13th. Just to tell them, yep, you're good, and then I'll go back in 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Just to lift the hood real quick and make sure everything's good.
Well, they don't even touch me. They just ask and they show me the official results of what they did, and then they'll tell me officially to come back in 3 years. But doctor already told me that, when I'm in my stupor coming out of surgery there. So
I like to think that they make it look all official until you're under. And at that point, he gets up behind the console of this 80s video game where he's got the two joysticks with the buttons, and he's like, pshing, pshing. He's just firing lasers at polyps. Pshing, pshing.
Well, I hope he gets scores,
right?
Double scores. Ooh, ooh, I got a bonus round.
Yeah, the boss round is really tough. He saves the smart bombs for those.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing is you got to save your weaponry for the big boss.
Yeah.
But that would, actually, you're not far off a little bit. I mean, yes and no. I will explain.
Please.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued now.
I will explain
right.
because that was a little bit of the experience yesterday. I'm telling you, the seconds before surgery begins are always the most entertaining. I'm telling you right now, that's where the good stuff happens.
I will say, having been sedated recently, it's weird how there's a period where, like, before the sedation actually sets in, where you're having a full-blown conversation with them, and then all of a sudden they're having a conversation with each other, and you're just supposed to be out, but you're not there yet.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I supposed to? Should I be out now? should I? And then I conk out.
Yeah.
But there's those few seconds of like that weird uncanny valley where they're like, all right, well, small talk's over. Let's get to work.
But I will share this hour that stuff. I do have, and I told my wife the story yesterday, and she just started busting out laughing when I told her from my perspective. The story is from my perspective, so it's how I'm seeing it laying on the table here.
Right. Now, bear in mind, last time you gave us place his hand on top of car. I get about 13 miles to this bad boy.
We're in the neighborhood.
All right,
we're in the neighborhood there. So I will share. But yes, I did hit the Valley Cafe right afterwards, and I got me a ginormous.
I was gonna say they have like a quart size of it.
Yeah, I said, he goes, do you want a large or small? I said, large, brother, give me the large. I didn't realize it was.
This is also post sedation. He's like, give me a keg of it. I don't care.
I didn't realize it was literally the big quart size that my wife and I both partook, and I think there's some left.
Nice.
But
you're just chugging it on the way home.
It's rich. It's really hard to do that.
It is
tasty, but it's
soup.
It's rich. So we got my vat o' soup, and then
the bathing enough to bathe in.
And I got the tub filled up for lunchtime today.
Right.
And then Kim got a delicious looking chicken BLT, sans tea because she doesn't like tea.
So BLC.
Yes. But it was tasty for her. And then I got their biggest burger they had, which was ginormous. I think it's called the Big John. Big John?
Big Bad John.
I think it's Big John. It's big in name. I might be off on the name. Could be Henry or George, but I think it's John.
Sounds right.
And it's 2 Angus chuck beef patties that are cooked to perfection. A fried egg.
Wow.
Bacon. And his secret sauces and what have you. And it literally was this big. And I consumed it.
That's like going in for a cleaning and then eating an entire bag of Oreos afterwards.
I did.
You're like, all right, time to mess it up again.
So
I'm gonna wreck this colon.
Well, in all fairness, I didn't do it all at once. I got home and I was having a little appetite, but I wasn't starving. I think I was still filled with some gas.
So I had Kim fart me.
Yeah. So.
She grabs my ankles and pushes upwards.
It's like she pumps it like a well, and then it comes out.
Very much the same way.
It's like Looney Tunes.
Like when you used to have to get water out of an old
you
thing.
pump it. Yeah, it's like Looney Tunes back in the day. But so when I got home, I had some of the soup, and I maybe had of the big gelatinous container. I probably had 30% right there, and then I passed out. And then around noon, that's when I dove into the burger.
Okay.
And I ate it, and then I was hurting.
That's actually a good.
Because I did it.
A good way to do it is you should always start after you've been fasting for a long time. You should start off with something more liquid, something that's easier, because your stomach will expand slowly. If you push it, then you're going to have just all sorts of intestinal distress.
Well, I had that later in the day. What came down went back up later in the day, and so.
Fair enough.
I don't know if it's because of anesthesia or because I ate like a child. I don't know which. But
dude, I've eaten like a garbage person for the last 48 hours.
Yeah. But the burger was tasty, and now I'm back because I'm not gonna lie, I had difficult decisions.
Sure.
I almost got another burrito, but I was like, I know the burrito. It's good. There's so many new things. I got to get a new thing. And I wanted to try a burger. And that one had a fried egg on it. That's why I wanted it. I was like, it's got a fried egg.
I can make more than one meal out of this.
You want to make me happy? Put 2 things on a burger. More meat and a fried egg, and I'm down.
Yes, to a point.
Well, I guess it depends on what else.
It has to be a sunny side up fried egg. I need a runny yolk on my fried egg.
I always say over easy. So if it's sunny side up or fried, I tell them over easy.
But yeah, because that's the thing. I don't want a hard yolk on... Because that's just kind of
it's not as good.
No, you need that.
You want the yolk to mix with the cheese and if you have hash browns or whatever other.
Then and only then. But if it's one of those places that has like the standard fried egg, where it's just like it always comes out like over medium to.
Well, his was over easy as ordered, and it blended perfectly with the bacon and the beef and the bread and everything. It was outstanding. It was really good burger. Yeah, that man, and they seasoned the meat good. That's what I liked about it. His meat is seasoned.
Yeah,
I don't know what. I'm not that smart, but when you taste the beef, it tastes good. It doesn't taste like a pound of beef they just lumped together and fried.
One of the conversations I've gotten into a couple times recently with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society, one on our interview, and then just recently through chat, is you don't necessarily need meat. I mean, I like meat, but it really all comes down to the seasonings.
Yeah.
If you have a good like flavor profile and decent seasonings, you can make anything taste really good.
I give you that. I would agree
Smoked
with that.
paprika, white pepper, black garlic. Those are like my 3 secret go-tos.
Why do you think tofu is in existence?
Yeah.
Because really, tofu is nothing. It tastes like nothing. It is nothing.
It is matter.
It is a vessel to which you add things to.
Indeed. Same thing with rice, any of that stuff. I mean, yeah, I could be comfortable.
That being said, I've never had tofu. I'm thinking, man, that'll replace a burger for me. Never had that happen.
Now, have you had... What is it? Okay, we can talk about Burger King. I just had to make sure it wasn't Friday. I am going to figure out a way. Maybe we have to do a pre-record, but figure out a way to get us a side-by-side Whopper and Impossible Whopper, and somehow
see if you can notice.
Blindfold taste.
I've had Impossible sandwiches. I've not had
but you've had the Impossible sausage.
I've had the burger.
Have you had the burger?
Not Burger King.
Okay.
Because the one time I had it was in the Grand Canyon. I went to they had a food truck out there, and they had hot dogs, but the only burger they had was a Impossible burger.
Okay.
So I said, I want a burger. Why not? I will try it. So I paid way too much for a Impossible burger. It tasted good. Did I taste the difference? Yes.
Okay.
But it was tasty.
And that's what I'm curious about, because I've had both.
Yeah.
I've had both, and I personally love the Impossible Whopper. It tastes fantastic.
I would love
the same consistency. It really comes down to the flame grilling that they do there and the toppings.
Well, and that's just it. I want to do it blind because I knew it was impossible. Therefore, I'm sure my brain, you know what I mean? I played that trick.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to get both, because I think they're still in the 2 for $6. I have to find out. I'm going to get both. I'm going to give them to Tanner. I'm going to have Tanner chop them up however he wants to chop them up, mix it up, and just present them on plates that he'll know, but we won't.
Which ones are real and which ones are...
And then we could either blindfold or just blind...
Yeah, well, if we don't know which ones are which, it doesn't really matter if we can see them or not, I guess.
No, I'm still just trying to find a way to incorporate blindfolds into the morning show.
As one should.
Well, at this point, I can just take my glasses off. I'm pretty much blind.
I see up close. I can't see up far.
Yeah.
You'd have to put the burger like 10 feet away.
In his office.
Yeah, and then I couldn't see it. But yeah, I'm down for that. I would like to try that. It's 9:17. Let me go ahead and do weather and break, and then I'll come back, and then we'll talk about my colonoscopy. I'll tell you about my...
We'll journey to the center of the mic.
Yeah, yes, exactly. We'll come back deeper.
we'll do a deep dive.
We're going to do a deep dive on the other side.
Buckle up.
Bring your helmet and flashlight. We're going spelunking. It's 9:17. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit gusty today as low pressure moves across northern New Mexico. We'll be very warm with our afternoon high close to 90. That wind gusting to near 40 miles an hour. Blowing dust will be possible, otherwise we'll have sunshine. Clear and upper 40s and breezy for the overnight hours. Sunny and cooler on Wednesday with a cold front dropping in. We'll stay in the mid-70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 72. We're in the 70s here in Roswell. Humidity is at 12%, with winds out of the southwest at 17 miles per hour. Those three ingredients are the recipe for the red flag warning, which will be issued here at 11 a.m. this morning. That's going to remain in effect through 8 p.m. this evening because of all the wind, the low humidity, and the warm temperatures. We will see some areas of blowing dust this afternoon, mainly after 4. Sunny for today, highs near 90 expected, with the winds coming with it. West winds 15 to 20 this morning, increase in 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour later today. Tonight, areas of blowing dust, mainly before 7 p.m. Skies will be clear otherwise. Overnight low of 49. Winds will remain breezy out of the west, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Winds will drop down 15 to 20 after midnight tonight. Wednesday, cooler but pleasant. Sunny, high of 76 on Wednesday. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Clear skies Wednesday night with an overnight low of 38. West winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, another pleasant day. Sunny skies, highs near 70 with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 73. And then warming back up for the weekend. Sunny 89 on Saturday. Sunny and breezy, high of 89 also on Sunday. All right, it is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll be back chit-chatting on the other side, mostly about my colonoscopy. That's up next. Don't go away.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice, and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
For people suffering with joint pain, simple movement feels like just taking a step feels like, and lifting your arm can feel like. Don't let joint pain be in charge of your life. The skilled orthopedic experts at Loveless Medical Group SCORE are helping more people take back their lives with some of the most advanced surgeries in the region. We're doing more than restoring joints, we're restoring lives. Call Loveless Medical Group SCORE today at 575-625-3300 so life can feel like,
Bob Reed Pest Control has been providing pest management services for over 50 years and continues to set high standards for their customers. Protect your home, family, and pets from destructive, poisonous, and disease-carrying pests. All of Bob Reed Pest Control's licensed technicians are continuously trained and knowledgeable in the latest pest management practices, offering effective treatment plans for any situation. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today, 575-623-5344, and find them fast in names and numbers.
Brew at the Zoo is back for 2022. Come and tap into a worthy cause. Happening 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. April 30th at the Spring River Zoo. Enjoy great food, an art auction, live music, entertainment, and games, and some of the best ice-cold craft beer around. A $40 ticket gets you 15 samples and the 2022 Friends of the Zoo glass. Designated driver tickets are only $25 and come with water, tea, or soft drinks. Early bird pricing is now available through April 16th for only $30. Proceeds go towards exhibits, enclosures, and enrichment for the animals. Get your tickets now for a good time and a worthy cause at friendsofspringriverzoo.org.
Where can you find the best selection of beautiful and unique home decor in the region? Easy, Casa Decor in Ruidoso. For years, people from all over have come to Casa Decor for the best selection of rustic, real wood furniture, beautiful decor from the Southwest and beyond, and quality outdoor furniture and accessories that are built to last a lifetime. At Casa Decor, they have over 10,000 square feet of showroom for everything you need. Casa Decor opens 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5 at 1214 Meacham Drive in Ruidoso, or online at casadecorruidoso.com. Proud supporter of local high school sports.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome back to the morning show. Mike Winters here with you. And so if you're just tuning in, I was teasing that I was going to chit-chat about my experiences at the doctor yesterday, going to get my colonoscopy, which all went well. All good. Everything's good. And, of course, they did a great job. I mean, in and out, boom, took care of it, did their thing. They're awesome. And everything went well. Zero issues. And I'm good to go. I got a clean bill, and I'll be back in 3 years to check again, see what it looks like. So all that, all good. So happy there. So I'm glad. I've had 3 colonoscopies since last summer. I had one in August, one in November, and then this one just yesterday. So it's been some time with the colonoscopies here, but we got her done. It's done. Good to go. 3 years from now. But so yesterday, Sunday was my prep day. No food. I could drink liquids, pretty much any liquid I wanted. Nothing that's brown, purple, or red. So like you can have when you prep for the colonoscopy, you can have soda, coffee, water, tea, your juice, drinks, apple juice. I think nothing red, nothing purple. So lay off the fruit punch, lay off the grape juice, lay off of those things. You can have broth. Like I had a lot of bone broth, those little cups of you throw in the microwave for like a minute and then sip on. I had a couple of those. I found I was allowed to have popsicles. That's when I'm allowed. As long as they're not purple or red, I can have popsicles. And
colored.
Yeah. Saturday, I was out at the store getting my
supplies.
Right. And I came across these green, yellowy, lemon lime popsicles.
Okay.
That are a 10. I love them.
Yeah?
They're great.
What brand?
I don't know. They just came in this big bag.
Oh, well.
It was literally a clear bag with a bunch of these. I
know exactly the ones you're talking about.
These yellow-green, large popsicles.
I know exactly the ones you're talking about. Those are pretty good.
They are. They're good.
Yeah.
And I lived off that and bone broth Sunday.
Nice.
So had me some Ferris hairs that, and I proceeded to cleanse. And do my trips, do the whole thing. Went pretty much as advertised, as the way it should.
I was actually surprised how quickly the process was done. I mean, this Kim texted me like within hour number 2 and was like, "Yeah, we're done. We're picking them up now."
Number 2, I see.
The deuce.
But I think they did a lot of the heavy lifting back in November.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I had 5 or 6 total polyps. And I think they got rid of most of them in November. They just had 1 or 2 here this time to work out.
Right.
So I think I was under a lot longer in March or November. Because I think it was 10 o'clock before I finally got out of there that day. Yesterday, I think I was out of there by 8:30, 9 o'clock, I think. Close to 9, I think, but after all was said and done. And went smooth. So I had to be there at 6:45 in the morning.
Right.
Which, by the way, rolling into the hospital in the 6 a.m. hour, kind of peaceful.
It is. In certain parts of the hospital.
Well, the main entrance and everything was...
If you're not going to the emergency room at 6 in the morning, you're fine. Like the front, there's almost like there's like a cleaning guy in the back over there.
Yeah.
And what's weird is, depending upon... Did you go to Loveless?
No. I was at Eastern.
Okay. Well, depending upon which hospital you go to, like Loveless, I've noticed when you walk in, it almost feels like cavernous, like you walked into a theater.
Okay.
Their waiting room, like their front waiting room, there's just so many chairs, and they're just all empty.
Yeah.
It's just kind of very... It's like,
at Eastern's, I go through the main entrance there, too, and it's it's quiet. The lights aren't really even on yet.
Right.
They're kind of... There's a couple office lights on, and then the people I need to see, the people you check in with, they're there, but that's about it.
Right.
And I'm like, it's not bad. And matter of fact, I was talking with the person getting me checked in and all that, and I was kind of like, this is not a bad time in the morning to be here. And they're like, yeah, you're right. It's quiet. And I was like, eh. So I finished up and I said, well.
It's the magic hour.
Yeah. So I said, well, good luck with the rest of your day. I know it's not going to be like this the rest. So, and as soon as I checked in, they were like, oh, you're ready to go, Mike. And they brought me to the back.
Nice.
And I go to the back. And, of course, they put you in the room, the prep room. And they tell you to take off all your clothes, put the gown on,
right,
and then get into bed.
The gown. It's really just like a sheet with a tie off for your neck.
Thank goodness my wife comes with me for these. Because I ain't going to lie, I don't know if I'm smart enough to put that gown on by myself. Like, especially when it's unbuttoned.
Yeah.
Like, the sleeves, everything comes unbuttoned. So if you don't button it back up right, sometimes it looks like just a big sheet. And you're like, how do I put this on? And so once the buttons got put back where they're buttoning, then I'm like, oh, now I see the gown part. And then I'm like, all right, and you put it on backwards.
You literally just described in my eyes the first time I ever tried to put actual underwear on my daughter, because the holes were all very similar size. I'm like, what? Do I back? Yeah.
Carl.
Seriously, I was like, I need help. I need an adult.
Yeah, I get it.
You know French cuts. I don't get these.
So my wife helped me get in the robe, and then I got into bed, and then, of course, they hook you up to the IV, which I was very happy. First try got me hooked up, no problem, because you're dehydrated.
Yeah,
and your veins are a little trickier to find.
Actually, really?
When you're dehydrated, it is.
No, I'm exactly the opposite. When I'm dehydrated, I am vascular like a son of a gun.
Well, you are the exception, not the rule.
Like I'll notice, like when I'm severely. This is how I can tell when I'm severely dehydrated. There's a one vein that just runs down my arm that just like pops.
Well, for them, they say it's worse. So
well, dang.
They went to school. I did.
I'm also a very vascular person. Like I can still see the spots from when I did plasma back in the day.
Oh, okay. So maybe you're a nurse's best friend.
Yeah.
Easy to get veins.
I very rarely get infiltrated.
I was more difficult, so they got me. But she nailed it first try. Good to go. We're good, and you hooked up, and then so you're sitting there in the weight room, and Kim can hang out with you there, and then I think I was in there till about 7:45. I'm sorry. 7:45. So about an hour, you're sitting there, and I kind of chill and doze off a little bit. Bed's quite comfy. You know, I'm in pretty good shape. And then they hook me up to the IV, and that's because they have a bathroom. You have your own little bathroom, but once you're hooked up to the IV, you're not going to the
IV is also the sedative, right?
No, well, no. The IV is just saline.
Okay.
It's just to keep you hydrated.
Right.
Now, I think they hook up the stuff through there. So, like the IV, and so that's the portal to that stuff. But when you're in the pre-thing, they're just hooking you up to saline.
Right.
And then they wheel you into the OR room. And then, so they wheel you in there, and then they hook you up to the blood pressure and the vital thing, and then they hook the gas thing into your IV.
I'm just curious. Do you get really, really cold when they run saline? When they? Because every single time I've ever been hooked up to an IV that they've run saline through, I get freezing cold.
I've had that happen before. This time did not.
No?
Okay. I was okay this time.
I mean, I don't know if it's like a thing that you guys can do, but if y'all just like preheat the saline before you put it in our veins, that would be I feel like that would be helpful.
I kind of dig it sometimes. It's kind of a refreshing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. Yeah. I just get really cold.
I think it's one of those, some love it, some hate it.
Yeah.
Some don't know what I'm talking about. But lucky. So they wheel me in to the OR there, and I get hooked up and everything, and that's when I get in there, and I think one of the assistants is in there on the computer, and then the nurse that's bringing me into the OR. Dr. Rideout was in at that time, so I kind of gave him a, hey, how you doing, Doc? And then the
high-fived.
Yeah, kind of.
We fist bumped. And
yeah.
Like, oh, don't use the fist.
And then
you go to fist bump, and he starts out with like, his fingers like this. You know there's something wrong.
It's like, oh, boy.
Uh-oh. It's gonna be one of those days.
So, and then the anesthesiologist comes in, and of course the anesthesiologist comes in and talks to you, and they ask you about 50 times what's your name and what's your date of birth.
Sure.
Just so they make sure they don't give the wrong person the wrong thing. And so
that would really not, sir, your colonoscopy went fantastic. I was here for a cleaning.
I'm just here. Yeah, but
you're gonna walk differently.
Could be worse things. You're like, hey, the heart valve went good. I'm like, I'm just here to get a colonoscopy. But anyway, So they do that. And matter of fact, right before you go out, before they make you sign the thing, and it's because matter of fact, my glasses are off, and then one of the nurses is like, "Are you going to be able to sign?" I said, "No, I can see." I said, "If you put the thing way over there, I can't see it. Right. I can do it right in front of me." So I did that and signed it, and then they knock you out, and the surgery happens. But so let me from my
sign, you hand them the thing, and they just knock you out.
They got a big hammer, and then good night. No, so from my perspective. They wheel me in, get it, everything's going kosher, cool. Then they have you, because I'm doing a colonoscopy, they have me roll up on my left side, so they can access to get under the hood, so to speak. But I roll on my left side. They work from that side.
That's actually, if they had me lay on my right side, I feel like that would be a problem. I'm much more comfortable on my left than my right side.
Are you?
Yeah.
I do both.
You're ambidextrous.
I lay on both sides. But anyway, so I assumed the position, put my knees up on my chest, and the whole thing they want you to do.
Kid fetal over here.
Yeah, and they got me in that position, and that's when the anesthesiologist starts explaining to me about everything, and I got to sign it. So when all this is going on, I'm laying on my side on my left there, right? Well, my field of vision has got a big monitor right from me to you, of a couple feet here.
Sure.
And so I'm looking at the monitor. The monitor is on. It's showing things. It's the camera that's about to go into the center of the earth there.
So camera. you had point blank front row access to your own butthole.
Well, no,
so we're clear.
Well, but if I was awake, I would have.
Well, yeah.
But this is before I fell asleep, so I'm there and I'm seeing the screen and the camera is on.
See, this is where I would have tried to fight off sedation. I would have tried to fight off going to sleep just so I could see what happens when he gets like right to the doorway.
They hadn't hit me with the sedation yet. They're still kind of prepping and finishing up their last few second things before they're ready for me, so to speak. But I remember I'm sitting.
Doc's just shining out.
But it was weird because I'm sitting there laying and I'm seeing the monitor.
Right.
So I'm seeing kind of what's going on back there. But my perspective is, and so I don't know where the camera was laying, but it was the way the angle, I'm sitting there laying there and I'm looking, and I'm looking at like a periscope version of Dr. Rideout. like it's kind of got the round oval look and he's sitting there.
Because it's a fisheye lens, essentially.
Yeah, and I'm kind of seeing his face and everything, and from my perspective, I'm like, is the camera already in the butt and it's like looking back out at him? What is going on here? Because
the camera pokes
it's
out.
Almost like
all good back here.
It's almost like framed beautifully, like he's sitting there with his hands doing this and his face. And I'm like, is he going in? What's going on back here? I'm just sitting at the camera. And so I'm treated to that seconds before, and I'm the whole time the camera. What if we?
Did you?
I wanted to get up and say, what are we looking at right now? But I didn't because I didn't want to mess them up.
And this is where I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I'd be like, you got a couple of errant nose hairs there, Doc, or something to the effect of, can you turn the camera just a little bit? I want to see if that's a pimple or a boil.
I was like, should I say hi? What do I do? It's like, hey, Doc, I see you on the TV here.
Just turn the camera a little bit towards my right cheek. I just want to check something.
Yeah.
And does that look like a birthmark to you?
But so he did that,
right.
and then the anesthesiologist signs it, and then he literally says, "All right, we're going to start giving the sleep juice now."
You're going under.
I said, "All right, cool." I said, "I'm ready," and then I literally said, "See you in the morning." I said, "See you," but dang it, it happened again. We're right in that spot.
Oh no!
We're right in that spot. Where he says, I'm about to give you the stuff.
Counting backwards from 10.
They don't even make me do that. They just literally said, we're about to give it to you. Okay. And I'm like, I'm going to try to remember the moment I pass out. I literally remember I don't, but I'm trying to remember that. But as I was doing that, and I'm like, okay, all right. I feel they started in the back, like not doing nothing, but touching.
Right.
Like first I feel the gown go up, and then I feel a hand, not the same car, like leaning on the car thing.
Okay.
This one was a little bit more intimate.
Just to open the door open?
He just kind of touched the crack region. Just kind of like...
He just caressed it gently with his finger.
I think he was moving like the gown and the blankets,
Mike,
and was like going to the area.
The proper terminology is the cleftopalate. Okay,
I don't know, but it was seconds
the
before
bum
I
line.
fell asleep, so the last thing I remember was like someone's touching my butt, and then I passed out.
Did you happen to look at the screen?
I really couldn't see at that point. I was kind of like I looked up and I just see his face, and then I'm like, "Oh, someone's back there," and then I passed out.
Oh, beautiful
Blue River. Use my whole fist back. Yeah. It was just like, and so it was like, come on, let me fall asleep before you start touching,
Right.
please. Just give me 30 seconds or 10 more seconds.
We know this is a quick process. Are you trying for the record?
Well, he wasn't trying to start. I think he was just seeing what he's dealing with.
Right.
And so
Okay, so let me see. I got to imagine before any proctologist starts one of these, they just go. I just get to just screw up your courage a little.
Yeah.
Here we go. Another one of these again.
And this is something. This part I shouldn't share this, but I'm going to do it.
But you're gonna anyways.
I should not share this. I should not. This is not.
Everyone lean a little closer to your radios. This is the part we waited for.
Or don't. I'm not proud of this. So when you wake up from said surgery, you're in the surgery bed there. They move you to the recovery room and everything. So when you wake up, they give you some water, and then you get dressed, and they tell you what to do, and then you send you on your way. Well, I got up. I got dressed.
Right.
There's a reason why I don't use those sheets. I'm just saying. There was some leavings.
Some refuse?
Yeah. I mean, it was liquidy, and it was just, but I was like,
well, I was more concerned, like, did you turn into like a human Evan Root or something? Just like walking down the hall.
No, nothing like that happened.
two-stroke.
But apparently, if there's some in there, I don't know. All I know is there were some leavings laying on the bed. I think that's normal. I just never noticed it till.
What you don't know is while you were out, they rubbed your nose in it.
Well, I don't think that's true because.
Yeah, because you messed their sheets up.
Well, I woke up in the same position I went to sleep in.
Oh, yeah, they made sure to put you back. You don't think that the dentist that's putting you under knows exactly the way your shirt's buttoned?
I don't know. I just know I got out and I was like, ew. I saw a couple.
Pieces of me.
Yeah, it was some. So
enjoy your coffee, everybody.
Sorry I had to share that. I shouldn't have, but that was the piece de la resistance at the end there. I was like, oh, lovely. Who's up for soup? And
you were.
I was, and I got out of there. So yeah, they so everything went well. Nice. They got me home, and then when I went home, we went to Valley Cafe and talked and got my food. And I didn't realize how big that soup was till I got home and pulled it out of the bag. I was like, oh my gosh.
You were also like post sedation, so I'm sure everything just seemed like weird.
My whole day yesterday was a little just like, I was a little loopy in the morning. But then you just get kind of tired and you're a little lethargic.
Around like 4 o'clock, by the time you got onto the forklift, things were fine, right? You could operate heavy machinery?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I just now entered the window where I can start making important decisions again.
They were going to say love again. Like, all right. I mean, I'm going to go, but...
No. That was like, because they give you your little sheet of...
You can't make decisions.
Well, that's what they say. They give you a sheet of things you can and cannot do. And,
I want to get a colonoscopy on election day.
And, of course, it's stuff like don't operate heavy machinery.
Right.
But one of the things said in there, don't make any important decisions for the next 24 hours. I was like, oh, that's an excuse.
There is I think I brought this up before on this show. I'm almost positive I have. There is a medication. I don't even know what it treats. But the side effect is, ask your doctor and if you should discontinue use if you develop the uncontrollable urge to have sex or to gamble. Yeah.
Those are quite a side effect.
I know. Doc, I'm up 13 large and I can't stop handling this llama. Can you help me out?
Wow.
Yeah. It was...
They just walk around casinos going, I bet I can get that one.
And that was in like the fine print at the end of the commercial. I'm like, I feel like you guys buried the lead a little bit.
Really?
I feel like y'all developed a drug that...
I'm not going to lie. I want to know what this cure is for. Like, what medicine is this fix?
Let me look it up, because I swear it was a thing. It was like a decade ago that was on TV.
I always laugh at the names. The names that they give these drugs make me laugh. Like Rick Salty, is it for depression? I mean, come on. There's a medicine called Rick Salty, and it's to help with depression.
Right.
Rick is salty, and that's the name of the... And then there's one for irritable bowel syndrome called Lynn's ass. And you're like, really?
Yeah. Ask your doctor about Lynn's ass.
And you're like, come on.
I don't even know Lynn.
Who names these drugs? All right, I probably should pause for some news and all that stuff. So, did you find? Well, I'll let him look. We're gonna do a news pause break here and all that, and then we'll come back and see if he figures out what drug that causes gambling. And you found it?
I did.
What is it?
It's Abilify.
Abilify.
The antipsychotic drug Abilify. Patients taking the drug have reported the uncontrollable urges to gamble, binge, eat, shop, and have sex.
Is that like for bipolar or something?
It's an antipsychotic. Yeah, so it's an antidepressant.
Okay.
I think. Antipsychotic.
Well, I guess you can't be depressed if you're busy gambling.
That's true. I'm telling you, I am
fornicating.
Thrilled. I mean, I got some Russian guys looking for me, but I am happy.
If I get the trifecta here, I'm good to go. Let's go to the ponies. All right, 9:43. I'm depressed, but I'm going to go bet on the ponies and I'll feel better. It's 9:43.
Come on, Papa's mustache.
Now for a Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Artesia General Hospital recently retained its recognition for patient experience. AGH was recognized as one of just 4 hospitals in the state with a 5-star rating in the Hospital Consumer Assessment. The survey measures different aspects of patient experience of care to make it easier to compare hospitals. Joe P. Salgado, the CEO of AGH, said the recommendation affirms the impact of the hospital's mission to provide health care that is both high quality and patient-focused. A Hagerman man who was recently sentenced for charges of sexual assault of a child earned another sentence following a conviction that he possessed child pornography. A statement from the DA's office says 34-year-old Mark Heitz was convicted at trial in late February. The 12-year prison term he received late last week was the maximum under state law. That prison term will run consecutively to a 16-year sentence Heitz earned for the November 2020 conviction for criminal sexual contact with a child under the age of 13. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
This is genocide that you're seeing. This is evil in our time that we're witnessing here. I saw one Russian Su-35 fighter was down by Ukrainian forces. They're putting up a hell of a fight, except they don't have enough munitions. That is a problem. Look at the images. There were pictures, page 5, New York Post, of more mass graves in Ukraine. In one particular mass grave in this one area, Busha, that I'm talking about, they had 280 people in one mass grave. That's evil in our time. That's the carnage of Vladimir Putin. What did I say? The Hannity Doctrine. If you invade a sovereign, innocent country, you forfeit your right to lead that country, and you should forfeit your right to live on this planet.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
I'm not great at making decorating decisions. For custom window treatments, it's simple when you use Blinds.com. Save up to 40% site-wide when you go to Blinds.com, and you can make your dream home a reality. Now, I've seen firsthand how custom window treatments, it's a minor home improvement that has a major impact. And you even have access to local pros who will handle the installation. Just go to Blinds.com, save up to 40% off site-wide. Blinds.com, up to 40% off. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit gusty today as low pressure moves across northern New Mexico. We'll be very warm with our afternoon high close to 90. That wind gusting to near 40 miles an hour. Blowing dust will be possible, otherwise we'll have sunshine. Clear and upper 40s and breezy for the overnight hours. Sunny and cooler on Wednesday with a cold front dropping in. We'll stay in the mid-70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Doubleheader time on the road today for the Roswell Coyotes. They'll be at Artesia for 2. It starts at 4:30. Roswell is 6-7 overall, but they defeated Lovington on Saturday in a doubleheader, 8-5, and then 20-10 in the second game. Savino Lazos in that second game, 3 for 4 with a double, triple, and 4 RBI. Also today, you've got NMMI at Dexter. NMMI 10-4 overall. Dexter's 3-9, but it's Dexter's got the better district record. They swept Tucumcari on Saturday, 20-2 and 13-3. NMMI is 0-3 in district play, having been swept by Sandia Prep on Saturday. So that's today at 4 o'clock. Gateway Christian yesterday beats Elida 14-0 to start its district slate. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Tesla CEO Elon Musk will be joining the board of directors at Twitter after taking a big stake in the social media platform, becoming Twitter's largest shareholder. General Motors and Honda planning to co-develop some affordable electric vehicles that will use next-generation Ultium battery technology. Those vehicles expected to hit the market in North America in 2027. It was a lower open for Wall Street this morning, the market bouncing between small gains and modest losses as oil prices rise and Western governments consider imposing more sanctions on Russia over its invasion of Ukraine. U.S. crude climbed 67 cents to 103.95 per barrel in electronic trading on the New York Stock Exchange, and Brent crude up 59 cents to 108.12 per barrel. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Where can you find the best selection of beautiful and unique home decor in the region? Easy, Casa Decor in Ruidoso. For years, people from all over have come to Casa Decor for the best selection of rustic, real wood furniture, beautiful decor from the Southwest and beyond, and quality outdoor furniture and accessories that are built to last a lifetime. At Casa Decor, they have over 10,000 square feet of showroom for everything you need. Casa Decor opens 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5 at 1214 Meacham Drive in Ruidoso, or online at casadecorruidoso.com. Proud supporter of local high school sports.
Sometimes we put off important health needs like surgeries because, well, we worry about the pain and time needed for recovery. Dr. Paul Torres, a board-certified general surgeon, has joined Loveless Healthcare Center and is helping patients in the Roswell area get back to the lives they love with less pain and a faster recovery through advances in minimally invasive surgery. To find out if laparoscopic surgery is the best solution for you, call Loveless and make an appointment today at 575-625-3222.
I have a snake for your drain. You might want to step back.
Oh no, baby.
All AC units moke a little. Is normal.
Oh no, baby.
Haha, now your sprinkler system's strong like bull.
Come on now. Don't let any fool work on your plumbing and air conditioning. Fergalicious. From clogged drains to sprinkler systems, Fergie's Plumbing and Heating is on the job. And who are you going to call for air filters and spring servicing on your AC unit? Fergalicious. Call Fergie's today, 622-2660. Nothing but love. Fergalicious.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests, and they offer answers and solutions when you need them most. Protect your home, your children, and your pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Let Bob Reed Pest Control and their fully licensed professionals start working for you and your family today. Call 623-5344, serving all of southeastern New Mexico. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Brew at the Zoo is back for 2022. Come and tap into a worthy cause. Happening 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. April 30th at the Spring River Zoo. Enjoy great food, an art auction, live music, entertainment and games, and some of the best ice-cold craft beer around. A $40 ticket gets you 15 samples and the 2022 Friends of the Zoo glass. Designated driver tickets are only $25 and come with water, tea, or soft drinks. Early bird pricing is now available through April 16th for only $30. Proceeds go towards exhibits, enclosures, and enrichment for the animals. Get your tickets now for a good time and a worthy cause at friendsofspringriverzoo.org.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:52. Got a few minutes here before they kick us off the airwaves here.
Mm-hmm.
If you missed any part of the show,
you missed out, man.
You can go back and check it out at your leisure, ksvptv.com. You can go to the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, find our interviews there. You can also go to our YouTube page and our 106.5 Roswell Talk FM Facebook wall.
By the way, I keep plugging it, but also over on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall, you can find the video of myself eating that square of chocolate.
I saw it yesterday.
I had Roy isolate the clip, and I went ahead and shared it on my Facebook also. But yeah, it was interesting. It made for a fun weekend.
Yeah, you can.
The whole weekend, I was just like, "Is it going to happen? Is it happened? Has it happened yet?" And it sort of did. And then it's like sort of like the remnants have just been continuing to happen. Like it's
so
just
you still
it's
haven't
just painful.
recovered from the tiny square of chocolate.
I think that maybe my body is mad at me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Well, I'm not. It was when you did it last week.
My mouth and my butt they have a peace treaty with each other. And I think that was broken last week.
Like, I don't think you prepared to do it. You just walked in and did it.
Yeah.
And that's what made it.
That was the only way I was going to be able to do it, because I was going to psych myself out if I didn't.
Well, that's what made it funny for me.
But I also didn't have any water. Or I didn't think to. Well, water wouldn't have done nothing for me. I didn't have any kind of relief near me.
Yeah, you did.
And as I put it in my mouth, that was when the realization set in that, I have nothing to fix this. Right as soon as I put it in my mouth, I'm like, uh-oh. And then the heat started.
And that's what made me laugh the hardest, because I'm tackling like a madman to that whole
thing. It was
thing.
so good.
But because I'm sitting here staring at you right now. I'm sitting right here.
You were
from my
unprepared.
perspective. Exactly. I was not like, okay, what's... And so you just like literally pulled the chocolate, pulled off the thing, and then ate it. And I'm like, huh. And then I just watched.
It's like sitting in front of a train wreck. You're like, that F-150 should probably move off the tracks. That train is coming quick.
I was just like, huh. Well, look at that. And then I'm watching his face. And at first I'm like, oh, he seems fine. And then I saw the moment where it was not fine no more. Mm-hmm. And that's what made me laugh hard, because it was literally like cartoons. It's like, yeah. And then he just turned red and steam coming out.
It did.
And I'm like...
I just started as I was watching that video, because I've watched the TikTok version of it, but I hadn't actually watched the R version of the video, the Boxcast version, until yesterday or the day before. And you can actually see the red just growing in my face. And then by the time my ears are like bright red, yeah, I was in severe pain.
It was like David Banner changing to the Hulk right in front of me, and I was watching, and I was laughing my butt off. It was just, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm just going to sit here and laugh.
I didn't either.
And I'm like, and then you left. I'm like, all right, I think you'll be all right. And I was like, I got an interview, because right after that I had an interview.
Yeah, you had Kevin Mavers.
Mavers, coming in, talking about marijuana.
Yeah. No correlation, but no, it was one of those things. After the fact, I had talked to somebody, and they said what happened was, because I was feverish, like my skin was hot to the touch, but I was freezing cold.
Wow.
And I was shaking, like shivering, like I couldn't control it. What somebody pointed out to me was I like raised my blood pressure.
Probably
is what happened, or all the blood rushed to my skin essentially.
Yeah.
And
started a stroke.
That's dangerous, man.
What?
There should be a warning on that. Oh, wait, there is. Crap.
That's why I was just like, okay. All right, well, enjoy the show, everybody, because that's all I did. Because he literally said, we got to do the chocolate. I'm going to do it right now. I'm like, what? Okay.
I wasn't even, like 5 minutes before, I wasn't even like thinking I was going to do it. And then Roy walks by, he's like, what about, we have that chocolate. And I was like, I have a TikTok. I'm going to go do the chocolate on the air. And that was all I thought. This was my preparation. I had my phone and I was ready to do the TikTok. So I was prepared in my eyes.
Yeah, that was on a whim. And you saw the results of what happens on a whim right there.
It whammed.
I loved it. I thought it was a win. I enjoyed it. I laughed.
It was some great radio. Never let it be said that I don't put myself on the line for good radio.
Yeah,
I've done it since the start.
I would never make that accusation. I would never, ever. I know better.
That's how I got my start in radio.
So I'm curious, how is the other thing taken off? You talking about the TikTok? If you haven't heard, Sean started a TikTok where he wants people to give him weird things to eat.
Yeah.
and hopefully tips.
Yeah,
But
preferably tips because stuff is expensive. I was, offered, or I was asked to try some things. I'm like, I can't afford that.
So how was that?
I mean, all my challenges have basically been self-induced so far. I'm sort of like, it's sort of like.
I saw you eat the one that you liked. Was it mayonnaise and peanut butter?
Mayo. And that dude, and I'm telling you, try it. I know.
Creamy or crunchy?
Creamy. Okay. Although I went over to Thomas's after the sock hop with Sean Smalls, and tried it with crunchy. Not as good.
No,
it didn't work. It just didn't work.
Was it the same brand?
Yeah, Jif.
Because maybe it's a brand.
No, it's really just the creamy peanut butter with straight mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip mayonnaise. It works. I don't know why it works, but it really does. And people are like, I'm not going to try it. It's like, that's fine, but
I kind of want to try it on the radio now.
You should. Well,
just to see what is going on there.
Well, we'll make it happen.
I like peanut butter. I like mayonnaise. I mean, I never thought to put them together, but there's worse things I've tried.
You wouldn't think it would work, but it absolutely does. But
what else have you done?
Okay, so the one that I was challenged actually through a reply was muffins with mustard, or blueberry muffins, but I couldn't. They were strawberry and cream muffins with mustard. That was not pleasant.
Yeah, that sounds.
That was not a good food combo. On there, I haven't really done a whole lot of other ones. I did find a channel though. I'm gonna start doing some stitches with called Sandwich Maestro or something like that. They do weird sandwich combos.
Okay.
So,
well, interesting.
Challenge on my.
What's your handle there?
Sean Smalls 929 on TikTok.
There you go.
Smalls with an S, SMALLS, not a Z.
And 929 is the brand. Right? You can listen to Sean every morning.
Indeed.
6 to 10.
I'm on there right now.
He's right there now. And here. How does he do it? Secrets in the mayo.
It's magic. That's right. Once you eat a peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich, your consciousness splits because it's like, how dare you put this in my system? But the other part's like, this is amazing.
Harry Potter had that little clock thing. Mm-hmm. He has a peanut butter and
time turner.
Sandwich.
Yeah. Mine is more like the I've imbued my soul. It's my Horcrux.
There you go.
Yeah, I have a Horcrux running the morning show. It's just a dodgeball.
Mine would be a bowl of that soup.
Yeah,
that'd be my Horcrux. All right, we gotta go. Just all the time. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day.
Yeah,
greatly appreciate that. We'll be back bright and early 7 a.m. tomorrow with our midweek edition of the morning show. Till then, have a great day. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.